it was really sad without you. I was missing all your witty banter and things. You
Well,
know.
I logged on to see like where y'all were at the show, and
Oh,
it
we were
literally was
done.
like, yeah, it was literally like, okay, see you guys next week, and I was like, oh, okay.
We were like, let's get this over with. We
Well,
were.
because my mom texted me, and she was just like,
Where you at?
honey, are you not on the show tonight? And I was just like, oh no, I'm not. Let me log on and see where they're at. And y'all were just like, bye. So I don't know if like she watched the whole show.
And your mom was like, don't even worry about it. Not gonna watch it if my baby's not on.
I'm assuming she watched it because she asked me about it. But allergies be gotten me down. So thank God that this is a podcast and not an actual web show because my eyes look crazy.
Look, my eyes are always bloodshot. I'm always like, that old Negro who's like, I work too much. Gotta be out in the sun all day.
Mm-hmm. Do you talk like that when you're saying
singing sweet low, sweet chariot.
Exactly what he does.
Hey, there's something that I want to talk to y'all about.
Sure, go ahead.
In the DTL, the downtown Lawrenceville.
Okay, that's what we're calling it now. Okay.
Yeah, it's the DTL. Well, that's how, because I follow them on Instagram, and that's like what they're like.
There was not a black person that made that decision. Okay, but go on.
Anyway, so Mimi's is gone, the ice cream place, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Remember forever. But now they have this new place called Scrumdiddlyumptious. Have you heard of this place?
No, I don't go to Lawrenceville. I live in the beautiful city of Beaufort, which is way better than Lawrenceville.
Let me just tell you what's so great about this place, Jason. Okay. Black owned. You need reservations to get in. And I know it's a brunch place, and they don't have their liquor license yet, but ultimately they're going to get bottomless mimosas.
Well, I know what we're doing on Sundays now.
And we went last Saturday. They have a flipping live DJ. And she was just like walking through it's in this little bitty space in the DTL. And she's just walking through, just freestyling. Like, how y'all feel today? And we're like, woo, I feel great.
I cannot have you call the place where Larry Flint got shot and put into a wheelchair the DTL, okay?
That's what they call it.
I cannot have you do that.
That's its name, so deal with it. It is what it is.
Oh, man. People move out of the city, they get a little bit of money, they get themselves a 4-bedroom house, and all of a sudden they can name towns whatever they feel like.
Yeah. So we're going to. So I think we need to go and because they're brand new. It hasn't even been open a month. We need to go. We need to shout it out. Maybe talk about a little bit of publicity for them, a little bit of publicity for us.
Maybe they'll give us money.
Maybe we'll make each other money. So, yeah. But it was good. I had the best damn grilled cheese sandwich I ever had in my whole life. So,
what kind of food is it besides grilled cheese sandwiches?
It's like elevated breakfast. I mean, it's just like any other brunch place. Like there's
brunch.
Yeah, it's brunch. 100%. They close at 3.
Oh wow, man, they be getting off early.
I know they're living their lives.
Done.
And also they say bottomless mimosas, but they have a time limit. Like you're only allowed to sit at your table for 90 minutes, and then you got to get up and move.
That's like the blackest thing I've ever heard of my life.
That sounds like something that black folk would do. That does sound like something black folk would do.
Because they don't want people. I think they just don't want people sitting around all day, right? They want that money.
Look, and you see, the thing is, after working at Papado for a number of years, my people, we love to sit. We love to sit. We love to chit chat. We love to visit, as you were. So we could turn lunch into a 3-4 hour event. Just taking up people's table, just sitting there.
Yeah.
And whether this be true or not, unfortunately, my experience has been that some people don't know how to tip either, and they be there for 4 hours. So. I can understand why they're like, no, y'all need to leave. Y'all got 90 minutes. We got the clock. We got to count it down. Look at that. Look at the clock.
Yeah. Yeah. And they charged there were 6 of us, and they charged us like the party charge. Yeah, we went to a kids band concert. Did you want to come to one at 8 a.m., Jason? Did you want to come to a kids band concert at 8 a.m.?
I love kids band concerts. I used to be in band, Lisa. Of course, I would have came to a kids band concert, especially a kid that's not mine.
At 8 a.m.
I would have been there late.
Okay. I would have showed up for brunch.
If y'all were going to brunch, I would have definitely woke up for brunch. How was the concert? Why is the concert at 8 a.m.? Like normally
it was a competition.
Oh,
yeah, it was one of those things.
I used to love those. Actually, I didn't like those. I liked the marching band competitions, especially the drumline ones.
Oh, marching band was so much fun. Yes, I agree. I miss those days.
I kind of feel sad that my kid never picked up an instrument because I was like, yo, if you were in the drums, you play in marching band, you have so much fun. He's like, it's outside. I'm like, touche, son, touche.
It's not only outside, it's outside in Georgia.
Yeah. And
so it's just like never the weather, it doesn't matter. It always sucks.
Honestly, I was on the football team in freshman year, as in I had pads and stuff. I didn't actually get to play.
You made your parents pay a lot of money to watch you stand in a uniform.
And then I realized I would get more time on the field if I did band rather than do football. But like, I worked a lot harder. I mean, like, I was a lot more tired during band than I ever was during football. And I used to work pretty hard. I also sucked at football. So there was no like, get in there, get reps, Jason, because you're great. So I was like, nope, you go sit on the bench and watch these other kids practice.
Yeah. Well, band, they're making you like, the second that freaking football game starts, you're constantly up, you're constantly down. You're doing more work than them cheerleaders, that's for sure.
And there's a lot of stuff that you're running across the field, especially during the performances. You're running across the field. Like we had to do a show in halftime or in double time. So we were basically like ran from one side of the football field to the other for a solid 15 minutes carrying drums. It was not easy.
Well, your band director was like insane, wasn't he?
Yeah, we were like a professional, not professional, but at least a high tier, high school level, drum and bugle corps, not high stepping, but drum and bugle corps.
I was gonna say for the late 90s, sure. Not
I mean, like nowadays, I would rather
forget it. Those kids would laugh at you. Be like, you're cute. Yeah.
Speaking of marching band, so I took my nephew to one of his high school football games when he was still in Beaufort, and their high school was terrible. Their band didn't even have uniforms on. I guess it was middle school night, but even when we did middle school night, we were like, okay, middle schoolers, y'all hang out in the bleachers while we go do this thing that we've been practicing all year for. Bad. But then Shiloh comes out there. And I was like, when did Shiloh become, a black school? And they put on a show. Like, from the moment they showed up to the moment they left, they put on a show. And I was like, man, the things I missed by not going to an HBCU.
Well, that's how Mill Creek was when we went to a few football games, and Mill Creek was like high stepping and everything. And we were like, what the where did these kids come from? They're amazing. Logan was like, can we go to that school? I'm like, nah, son, sorry.
You can't afford to go to that school.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always lie about your address and just drive them out there. It's not like it's far.
No, Gwinnett, they check that. We have to prove our residency every year.
Damn.
Every year we have to reprove it.
I don't.
They're strict. I'm like, no one's trying to go to this school. Like, who's trying to go to Mountain View? No one.
I know. Some kids out there, trying to bring a better life for their children. Maybe they live in, the south side of Lawrenceville, Five Forks, Trickham. I'm not saying that Five Forks, Trickham's a bad school.
Is that
Central is?
That's a road, I thought. Wait, I don't know what Poles shirts are. I don't know what that means. The comment that we just had?
Polo shirts.
Oh, polo shirts. In middle school, they had polo shirts for band?
We didn't have polo shirts for band.
Okay.
I mean,
middle
I would imagine.
Yeah, so middle school, my kids' middle school has polo shirts, band polo shirts. That's what they do. So I bought my kid one 5 sizes too big for him because he started in 6th grade, and I didn't want to buy a new shirt.
You're going to grow into it. Tuck it in, son. Tuck it in.
Listen, it's hard in these streets, you gotta keep it.
All right. I got a nerdy question for the two of you.
Okay.
I know Jason probably saw this. There's a TikTok where someone proposed a question. Which DC superheroes would be for the Civil War superhero registration? And you pick 5. You had to pick 5. And I couldn't.
For it?
To be for it.
And it has to be heroes. It's not just anyone in the.
Well, obviously, Amanda Waller would be, all for it. She's already about that anyway. But I would say superheroes. Like, because, you had Iron Man, and that's the only one I can name off of that one.
Well, everyone knows who. Eventually, everyone knows who Barry Allen is, so maybe he wouldn't care.
I mean, he's also a cop too. I would say maybe
scientist, but okay.
He's a cop. But also, so is Nightwing. But I give Nightwing a pass.
I kind of think No, I don't think anyone in the Bat family. I agree with that. No one in the Bat family. Maybe Damian just to be a dick.
Yeah, I would say maybe Damian because Damian's more
just to be a dick. And
Damian's more about order than anything else than any of the other Bat families. So he'd be like, "Yeah, we should totally keep track of these people. And if they step out of line, I got this sword that I'm going to stick down their gullet, and because I'm a little psychopath."
Actually, I think Tim Drake would go with it.
Oh, you're a lying sack of shit, Jason. Tim Drake would definitely
because you like Tim Drake, but Tim Drake would be the most likely to go with it.
That's the only reason.
he's been a closeted guy in the books. He's been on both sides of the spectrum. Like, he is a guy that would probably want the representation to be out and open and being like, "Hey, we should do this. We should register and figure this shit out." Also, he is the smartest and more detective-like out of all of them. So naturally, more information for him equals better crime solving. So like getting people to register would get more information.
I feel like the Bat family already has that information. They don't need the government for that. Like, because Bruce Wayne's like, "Oh yeah, I know about the kid who just figured out that he could do lightning in his bathroom. I already know about that. So, because I'm Batman, gotta stay prepared."
Yeah, but Batman don't share that with the rest of them jobbers.
Tim Drake is not a jobber. He took over Wayne Corporation after Batman died. All right. He's not a jobber. He's a trusted family member. Now, Stephanie Brown, jobber. Yeah.
The problem
I would just think out of all of them, it'd be between Nightwing and Tim Drake would definitely be the only two I think would be with it.
I disagree. Nightwing, maybe because he's already a cop. And Cat. Superman, certainly not.
When you out one Bat family member,
you out them all.
That's the thing. So that's why. Oh crap! That's why I think it wouldn't be a Bat family.
Hey Tim, you hang out with that billionaire. Oh crap! Yeah. He's the Batman.
Yeah, it would just be like a trickle. I just don't think Batman would allow it. Is what I think. It would just he would put a big old.
If you think about the Injustice universe, like. Everybody with the exception, well, Tim Drake was stuck in a parallel universe for the whole entire time. But only person that joined up with Superman who kind of did the whole registration thing was Damian. But that's after he killed Nightwing. So he didn't really have much of a place to go after that.
But yeah, I'd have to really think on that because my favorite part of DC is the villains. So
the Joker signing up. He's like, "Yeah, I'll tell you my name right now."
Think about them, So I have to I'd have to sit there and think about each superhero. I kind of want to say, I feel like Green Lantern would.
Oh, Hal Jordan, 100%, 100%. He's already there. He's signed up. He's got the paperwork. He's going door to door, handing out paperwork. Like, "Hey, you need to sign up for this, Bruce."
Yeah.
And Bruce is like, "No."
And superpower because you should go register and you should not be hidden anymore. Beast Boy, I think.
And he's also like, "You know what? Ron DeSantis has good ideas." Just saying.
It's harder in DC with it because DC typically, for the most part, the secret identities aren't really secret identities, except for Batman.
Right.
In the Bat family. Exactly. Most people's identities are their Wonder Woman's Wonder Woman.
Right.
Yeah, you can give me that Diana Prince crap, but people know fucking Wonder Woman. Superman, yes, he does have Clark Kent, but Superman being Superman is still being Superman. They expect Superman to do things. So it's harder with DC, but I think if I had to go 5 off the top of my head, I probably would go. Oh, yuck! I probably have to go.
It's hard.
It's not hard. It's just I'm trying to think of like if it was just 5 only to go from. And I'm just pulling from like the Justice League. So like, I definitely think Cyborg will be with it because he seems like he'll flake out on it. I'll definitely do Cyborg.
Well, Cyborg's probably one of the few people that don't have a secret identity. He's just, hey, that black guy, that's a robot.
Wait out!
Right.
Like that's literally his argument.
Yeah, I'm saying,
right.
I'm agreeing with them. I'm agreeing with them.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing. I'm agreeing.
Oddly enough, I think Martian Manhunter will be with it.
Yeah, I think so.
I think his whole sense of being able to out himself as a Martian and be accepted would allow him to go along with registering other people to make it feel like it's a protective thing. I think actually Supergirl would be with it.
I think Supergirl 100%. She'd be like, yep.
I think she'll be with it as opposed to Superman.
We all know who she'd vote for too.
She voted for Trump twice.
We know. We already know.
I do think I agree. I do think Barry Allen actually would be hella with it.
Yeah.
I think Wally West would not, but I think Barry Allen would be with it. The Flash would be definitely
yeah.
All about it. And actually, I don't think it would be Hal or John. I think it'd be Kyle Rayner.
Kyle
would probably be the one Green Lantern that probably be with it. Or I mean, if I want to go deep cut, like Captain Adam will definitely be with it.
Captain Adam was already on the list. He signed
right.
He created the program.
He was like there in the room where they're like, we should do this.
He's like, guys, I have an idea.
Captain Adam's 100% on the list.
Yeah.
I would say even like to go to like, I hate to say this, but Mr. Terrific would probably be on there too.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you hate black people so much. You pick Martian Manhunter, who is black, and Cyborg. Not both of them.
Well, and then so I'm not including Dakota verse people because Icon definitely.
Oh, Icon will also be in the room. Going,
yeah.
We did get all these guys. Did you know? I know this little boy who can shoot lightning. He's in high school. Get him on there.
But I think that the thing is they would literally be doing it because they would want to be protecting people and not even thinking about like the dangers,
the ramifications of it. Yeah, like how Spider-Man was, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I do this because I want to protect people," not realizing, hey, they're gonna go after my grandma who's 190 years old, and I'm gonna give her my marriage for that for some reason. That was a dumb storyline.
Whoa,
pretty terrible. Almost as bad as the twins from Osborn and Gwen.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You know, comic books are weird. They're weird.
Yeah.
That's just going.
I think sometimes. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say let's start at 20, and that's why I give Kate to like weird stuff like Wonder Woman 1984. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's gross," and I'm like, "It's comic books. A lot of gross stuff happens in comic books.
But
you guys are worried about a man that switched bodies and had sex. We had a man have sex with a teenager that produced 2 twins that came to go fight Spider-Man, and that was like comics."
How's Jordini even dated a girl who was like her physical age is 13, but her body grew up to be adult, and he was like, "This is fine."
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with this.
Superman almost filmed a porno. Comic books.
Yeah. He was brainwashed.
Once again, it doesn't, regardless of how it happened.
But to Superman's actual decisions, he made Lois Lane black to be like, you see, it ain't so easy, is it? It's like you just put your girlfriend in blackface, my dude.
and it was like a fat black chick too, if I recall. Like it wasn't even like it wasn't Holly Berry.
No, he made her black, but he also made her fat at one point as well.
Yeah.
I must have slept through that line.
This is all Silver Age stuff, and they couldn't do any cool things. So they're like, I don't know. How do we stop racism? Let's make Lois Lane black for an issue.
That's how you know that there were no people of color in that freaking room when that happened.
1963. So
the room when
where there was, he was sweeping the floor. Included the rum.
And he's
out of here. We don't need the rum today.
I don't know about that. don't know about that today, boss. You know, I still need this.
Like, hey guys.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Head Cannon Circus podcast. I am your host, the Duke of all nerds, the Lord of all night skin, the nerdiest black guy you know. That's my new title. I'm going to say that one. The nerdiest black guy you know. Jason, everybody applause. I'm hearing it. There's people in the room applauding.
Yeah.
We have a thank you guys for humoring me. We have an excellent show. Of course, all of our shows are excellent shows. So I don't even know why I didn't say we have an excellent show today, because we always have excellent shows. But we're going to be reviewing Scream 17 or 18. I can't remember. 65. And I think we're also going to do The Last of Us as well. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Because I wrote some stuff down for The Last of Us. And of course, I can't do this without my wonderful team. First up, he is the Malcolm to my Eddie, Jason. How you doing, Jason?
Great, but I think we have a better relationship than Malcolm and Eddie did when
they hit
making that show.
Yeah.
Even though I am late like Eddie Griffin, I'm not an a-hole like he was on the show.
No,
so
you're the Malcolm, I'm the Eddie.
Okay, well then, even fair enough. I'll keep cashing those Cosby checks. Yeah, I'll take those Cosby checks.
And of course, she is the only reason anybody actually watches the show. Lisa, how you doing today, Lisa?
What's up, y'all? How's it going? Thanks for having me back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, she finally. We were going to tell everybody that you're in jail last week, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense. She's not going to go to jail. She went to jail for beating up some chick who touched her man in the bar.
Oh
like,
my God!
My beer.
I would literally, yeah.
Oh my beer!
Oh my beer!
Oh my beer!
I still have the beer that I had to hold.
Still holding
White
it.
Claw.
You could have just had it and be like,
Yeah.
I'm still holding it.
Pretty warm at this point.
She had beer and cigarettes. It was great.
Oh God!
All she needed was to be pregnant in a house coat, and we would have
I
had
know,
the,
right?
She's still in the slippers.
the scene would have been set.
It's 3:00 in the bar. She's got a baby on her hip.
I can totally picture this. We should just dress up one day as like the things that we just say about each other.
I don't know, because
Anyway,
I really
sorry I wasn't here last week.
Mad shit about all of you guys, especially when you guys aren't here. Look, life happens, Lisa.
Yes,
welcome you back.
I missed y'all.
We will be docking your pay though. So.
Oh no.
We don't get paid. Whatever.
Well, we can be if people start following us. Like,
yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, if it's your first time joining us, or if you've been joining us for a while now, please go ahead, like, share, subscribe. We are every place that you want to be. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the places. Like, share, subscribe, and also engage. Get into the comments. If anything that we say today makes you angry or upset, or you agree or disagree, or if you are a, I would say the Greatest Showman fan, just go ahead and get in the comments and tell us about it. And then, of course, I can tell you, horrible, horrible things when I read your comment. But we do enjoy reading comments. We do enjoy the game engagement. Please get in the comments below. That would be great. All right. That's it. That's the housekeeping. You guys ready?
Oh yeah, don't forget to check out our website.
HeadCannonCircus.com. It's been mobile for me, just not for us.
Oh, okay. Okay.
HeadCannonCircus.com, where your mom goes for a rom-com. Yeah.
That is where my mother goes to for a rom-com. You are correct.
You can connect with me on the TV. Which one do you guys want? Let's start with Scram. Four survivors of the Ghostface murders leave Woodsboro behind for a fresh start in New York City. However, they soon find themselves
New York
City, I know.
It's like they can make salsa too. It's fine. However, they soon find themselves in a fight for their lives with a new killer embarks on a bloody rampage. If you don't know, now you know. For everything we do, we give it a 1-sentence review. And since Jason and I are gentlemen, Lisa, would you go ahead and give us your 1-sentence review for Scream 16?
My 1-sentence review for Scream 6. You get a knife. You get a knife. You get a knife. Everybody gets a knife.
They sticking everybody. They sticking everybody.
Such a better gift than the cars. Such a better gift than the cars.
Jason, hit us with your one sentence review.
My one sentence review is Ghostface has a New York state of mind because that Joker don't give a frack.
He don't give a frack about nothing. And for me, y'all should have heard the scream that I scrumped when I watched this movie. Scrumped is a word, Lisa, by the way.
I know. I looked it up.
I'm joking.
I want to first and foremost say I'm never watching another horror movie with no black people no more. Especially the black person that we do the show with. Because y'all jokers are taking these movie stuff like it be real life. Like,
oh, I am so sorry, Jason.
Stop him. Keep stopping him. Don't let him get it. I'm like, dude, the movie would be over. The movie would have been over and over if they did all this. Like, this is a movie. We got to keep pushing to it. Not just every reality moment that you have, do it. If that was the case, the horror genre would never exist.
Look,
it is 5-minute movies.
Jason, in my defense,
people jumping people.
The black folks in front of us were doing the exact same thing.
Oh, I know. That's what I said. You notice I said black people, but I said especially the one on this show.
Which theater were y'all at?
We were at the Mall of Georgia, and yeah, I was definitely involved in the plights of these people because I was like, y'all, what do y'all do? Y'all need to be fighting. Jason was like, if you don't stop, if you don't behave yourself in these movies,
stop showing off for your friends. Like, watch the movie.
For real.
You know, I'm always here for the Scream series. I would even go the far as to say, which we could debate after the review, the Scream franchise may be the best consistent horror franchise through 1 through 6. I don't think it's a terrible movie in any of them. Some aren't good, some aren't great, but nothing's like terrible. Like I could go through every other franchise and go, oh, that movie, that's dog crap. Like Freddy's Dead, dog crap. Jason Takes Manhattan, dog crap. Like we can go through all of them.
Halloween,
but I feel like oh well, you can name Resurrection,
I was waiting for that
Kills,
pretty fly.
You can go through a lot of those, but what I was getting to was like I think it's probably the most consistent horror franchise we got going right now, even though it's taking such long breaks. So this movie, like I said in my one sentence review, I'm gonna be real. I love this movie, and I love this movie because this Ghostface is so gangster. He don't give a damn. He bring it to your doorstep, literally and figuratively. Like that Joker is like, oh, I'm up in the house. Oh yeah, I'm in the house. Yeah, I'm going that Joker.
You think you're gonna get between me and my kills? I'm killing you too. I'm killing all y'all.
I mean,
I don't care who's going.
To the point that I don't even want to ruin the bodega scene because that thing is so hood. I was like, what? This dude, I don't want to ruin it. Just go see the movie to see that part. Because that bodega scene is like, that's the moment in the movie you go, oh, this is different. Mm-hmm. This dude real different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead, Jason.
No, Lisa.
Okay, so here's the thing. The reason why I love the Scream movies is every time I watch one, I want to go back and rewatch all the rest. And like that's exactly what this one did, especially with this one because I'm trying not to give spoilers because I really want people to go watch it, but like they really focus on like the evolution of Ghostface. And so when they're like doing all these things and showing all these things that maybe you forgot happened, or, you know, just like these little Easter egg, you know, thingies. And I'm just like, I just want to go back and rewatch every single movie now and then go watch that one again. And like, the thing that I love about the Scream movies too, is which I hate saying this word, but it's very meta to where like it knows not to take itself too seriously. Yeah. And so it knows exactly what it is, and there's no apologies to that. And I love that. And there is a scene, which I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I was super excited, where two people this is not a spoiler, where the main character, Sam, is at a therapist. It's like in the very beginning, she's sitting with her therapist, and the therapist has a whole bunch of like crochet dolls, and they're all on display, and they're all from the Addams family.
Oh,
and
that's
I
cute.
just yeah. So you see like a little Pugsley, you see Morticia, and you just see like the whole Addams family, and there's no Wednesday, and I just don't think that was on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, so there's just like I love it, and like the first kill scene took place at like Elm Street Apartments, and just like those little, just sweet, just I love it. It's always just like a sweet little hug to horror movies, that the Scream franchise. I love it. It was funny, like and we all know, like at the ending, a character says, "I can't believe that this happened," and we're like, "Yeah, neither can we." Like we're shocked too.
Well, even just to rewind and jump forward, I mean, what did you all think about the opening? Scream is known for its opening kill. Like, what did you think about the opening kill? I guess Jason and Lisa, then I'll go kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is probably the best opening of any Scream movie, including the first one, because it totally like subverts your expectation. Because we've seen 6 or at least 5 Scream movies at the point. We know that they're going to put somebody moderately famous in the beginning to be the first person to get killed, or maybe an up and comer. And then, we're going to go for the movie from there. But this one's like, oh, yeah, you have Samara Weaving, but then this other thing happens. And I don't want to spoil it because it's cool. Yeah. And I was like, oh, crap, this is great. But then they revert your expectations by going back. And it's great. It's hilarious. It's frustrating because why are you walking out at night by yourself in New York City, white girl? Don't do that.
Why are you going down to an alleyway that like the lights out, you dum-dum?
If you don't see but
yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Go ahead, Lisa.
There were definitely times where I had to just be like, it's a movie. It's a movie. You need it for a plot device. It's a plot device. If they were smart, there'd be no movie. If they were smart, there'd be no movie. Like, because there are times where I seriously was like,
where they didn't stop.
Why are they so dumb? Why does Gail Weathers have a house phone? Why? It doesn't make any sense. I do not get it.
Why is she still talking to the dude on the house phone? Like, you've been through this. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but...
Well, in her defense, she probably did the smartest thing we've seen anybody do, even though she answered the phone. Like, she put that motherfucker on hold.
Hold on a moment. And he's like, what?
Yeah. I feel like that was like a Poe Dameron move. Like,
so great. No,
but
this movie was great. The
unfortunately,
opening kill scene. Go ahead.
There's only one actual smart character in the whole entire Scream franchise.
Well, at least talk about the opening scene, and you can give us the smart character. Yeah, because you've been running this thread for a while. I know you want to nail this home, but
knock us out the park.
The opening scene, and I always love Scream is my franchise. This is the one that like my sister took me to see when I was too young, because like all my other friends had seen it and I felt left out. So she was like, F it, but the parents are going to be mad at me anyway, so let me just take her. So it is like one of those, it is special to me. I love it. I don't care how much hate people have for it. It's my favorite. So I feel like a little bit of a nerd, like a little know-it-all, and I'm just like, oh, you guys know that the opening kill is always like an insight into the movie, and it's always going to tell you secrets that like you don't know. And I'm just like, watching it, and then when that first kill happens, I'm like, what is this movie? Like, there are no rules. And so yes, I love it. It still follows one key rule, but I don't want to spoil it.
I'm with you. I thought the opening was really unexpected. I also thought, I think this might have been the first opening that actually had a tie-in into like the events of really what's going on, besides, oh, it's Ghostface killing somebody. Like, the opening scene had a purpose to kind of almost set up like the whole overall arcing thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. I also thought it was very interesting in this one that they did use a little bit more of the social media aspect going into it. Like, she's on a date from blah, 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 so she doesn't met him. Like, and I'm thinking, oh, that's ingenious, because that is an easy way to set up allowing yourself to be duped, because you really don't even know this person or
Yeah.
who this is and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty dope as well. Yeah, I mean it like you said, I hate to use the word meta, but this one was very like
Yeah, I hate to use
almost
it,
like
but it
in
is.
universe. Yeah, like in universe,
Oh,
out
man.
universe, then back in the universe, like
Mhm.
all in one scene. So I thought that was pretty good. All right, Jason, you can go and let us know who's the smartest character in all of the franchise.
Obviously, it's Gail Weathers. Duh. I'm kidding. That's not Gail Weathers. It's the cameraman for Scream 2. I've been wanting to say that because he's the only person who was like, I'm out of this. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm out. And he leaves for the whole entire movie.
Yes,
Everybody
Dwayne
else.
Martin. Dwayne Martin
Morons.
bounced. He
Because
bounced
especially this
immediately.
movie, where you're like, oh, Ghostface is doing this again. Everybody's like, you know what? We'll just stay here. This is fine. Like, I would be
Well,
gone.
I think it wouldn't have mattered
No, it would not have mattered. They would have been
because
gotten
yeah.
no matter what they got, what they did.
right, and I
Especially
think
like
they realized that.
the reason for why, because during the movie, as Jason said, I was like, yeah, you got to stop them out. You got to do this. You got to do that. But you realize at the end that things are not what they seem. I'm trying not to spoil it. And the reason why they're in these situations is because things are not what they seem. And, it's, I don't want to spoil it. I just want to spoil it.
Yeah.
I do want to spoil it.
Question: Did you all guess who the villain or villains were before the ending?
I
Because I know you two are good at that. I'm a moron at it. You know me. I'm like, really? It was them all along. Like,
once
So
they
the
revealed
thing is, I wasn't really trying to.
yeah, I wasn't either.
And I usually am, and this time I wasn't because it was just so like there was no downtime.
Yeah.
It was like it was so I just so there was a point where I'm trying not to spoil.
I knew it wasn't Kirby. How about that?
Yes. Okay. So let's just say that we'll spoil that. There was a point where they made it seem like it was Kirby, and I was just like, that doesn't. I immediately was like, that doesn't make sense, and I don't really like that. So when it wasn't Kirby, I was like, okay, but
right, low hanging fruit at that point.
yeah. So I would have been irritated if it was Kirby. And I like how they go through and they're like, it was definitely never going to be Sydney because that never made sense. And we're like, yes, thank God, because so many people want it to be Sydney. And we're like, it literally makes no sense for it to be Sydney. What the F? So I'm glad that the movie was like, no.
If it was going to be Sydney, it would have made sense for 4 to be Sydney.
Right.
It would be dumb for her to come back in 4 and 5 and then all of a sudden be like, I had a mental break. Like you escaped. Like you were done with this life.
Yeah.
Though I do think they are kind of setting up a plot line where that not Sydney per se, but a character might have a heel turn, or
I don't think so.
I don't know, because there's a literal person who's having delusions in this movie. So, but I think,
but she's not the final. She's not really the final girl. Her and Sydney are not the same. I don't think you can compare.
I feel like she is the most finalist girl. I think there are no final girls in this movie. They're final
there's
people.
not. For sure,
it's 3. It's technically 3.
Yeah. No, everybody's a final girl in this movie.
4 if you include Gail.
Yeah.
But here's something that I'm wondering is, did you guys catch that they kind of alluded to Stu maybe not being dead?
Yeah. Because
yeah.
What's his face? He actually did want to come back. I can't remember the actor's name.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
man, I knew somebody's name for once in Jason.
Yeah, because I've been drinking, and and that was a rumor that he was going to be in this movie, but I guess he never signed the contracts in time, or something that happened. But,
well, they made this movie in 30 days, so didn't have time.
I thought part of that too, because I think it was like an internet thing, kind of like in the same vein of the Mace Windu wasn't dead. That Stu could have survived the injuries of
being stabbed
that situation, but also think too that people don't realize how heavy the TVs were back in the day.
Yeah,
they think about the TVs we got now. You just throw them across the room in a 70-inch. Them TVs back then, even if they were flat, were fucking heavy.
He's dead.
Right. Yes.
I think he would be dead. However, we also have a Ghostface who got shot. I don't care if he's wearing a bulletproof vest. It still hurts. We all watched freaking Hit Girl get shot in the chest and knocked her over. So, yeah, he got shot in the chest like 4 times. He's just like, ow. Like, no.
Also,
and he got hit in the head with the frying pan.
You are correct, Lisa, because in this movie, a lot of people get stabbed multiple times.
Yeah.
Don't do a damn thing. Don't do
and they're just fine. And they're walking around.
Just gotta walk it off.
Yeah. They're getting stabbed in the arm and like a tendon is bleeding, and then they're climbing up ladders. I'm like, no.
I will say this. Speaking of that, I think the Scream probably had actually in my notes, like because I had to jot it down since I got out of the movie, like in the parking lot. It probably had the most sets that were set up for like scariness or action than any of them. I mean, you get the subway scene, the ladder scene you just mentioned, the bodega scene, even areas where you would think that we normally would feel safe in these movies, like them just walking down the street, even together. Like it's still freaky. Like so a lot of these set moments in here I thought were brilliant. And I was even trying to think to myself, outside of the endings of all the Scream movies, it's not really many set moments that are like, okay, we're going to play with the environment being a huge factor in how this scare works or how the tension works. And I thought that was very interesting if this is the new direction, because, and eventually I feel like the meta thought process has to run out, because even this one was like, you're literally being meta about the movie that was made to be meta. And I know everybody was like, oh, that was part 4, part 5, but this one literally not even dives into the Stab series, but it pretty much dives into the Scream series, because it takes the actual events that the Stab movies are made of about, and it's meta about the actual events, which is pretty much the movies. Well, not pretty much, it's the movies that we watch. So at this point, I feel like the meta thing is kind of almost going to be moved away if they do a 7, and it's going to just be replaced more with, oh, these are the rules of the franchise when you get to this level, and this is how that's going to be the quote-unquote meta situation, because I don't know what else you can mine, because most horror movies now aren't the big budget crazy slashers we got early on. I mean, if you really would think about it, how many real slashers have there been? It isn't many. So, and I doubt Scream is going to all of a sudden be like an artistic hereditary type of movie.
We're going to get cerebral on you.
right. It's not going to become the Babadook overnight. So
this is going to be weak and lost in how our parents give us generational trauma. Here's what we're doing.
Right.
17,400.
I feel like now you're left with just having to go almost bigger and badder, with which they did in this one. But now you got to go even further now, and almost like how Final Destination became less about what we care about the characters, but more about the killing set pieces. I feel like now this is going to become more about how many situations can we put them in to make them uncomfortable with this new age of Ghostface Killer, because that's basically what this movie did. That was different than all the other ones, is that they made this Joker, I don't care if it's daylight, I don't care if you're walking down the street with mad people hanging out with you. Like, this Ghostface was like, man, I'm coming for that head. I don't care what you're talking about.
I don't care if you're on a crowded subway train. I don't care if you're at your mom's house. I don't care if you're at a hospital.
I don't care if you actually know I'm the killer. Like, that's the other thing. Like, it's just like, if someone's like, that's the killer, and they're like, what you gotta do about it? And you're like, whoa.
There is one thing in the movie that I wish they had developed more, and that was the idea that there was an internet conspiracy that Sam had actually been the one to kill in Scream 5, and I wish that would have been played out a lot more, but and utilized a lot more, because there could have been some more interesting situations brought from that. But that's just a nitpick, because I have to find something wrong with something.
It was already a 2-hour movie.
So let's make it a 3-hour opus.
It's fine. It's fine. It did it just enough. It served its purpose.
I get what Jason's saying. Like, I think it was a plot thread that would have been an interesting way to go. Hell, look, let's be real. If they wanted to do the heel turn, that would have, this movie, I guess, if they would have went through and pulled that plot all the way out, would have been the best time to do a heel turn with any of the core 4, and allowing it to be pretty much blamed on Sam. Like, it would have been an easy way to kind of pull that out. So I agree, but I'm like you. It would have been tough to try to I mean, how
stresses
many
out.
more Coca-Colas could she get thrown in her face in one movie? Like,
Yeah.
at some
Diet,
point.
diet cherry Coca-Cola.
Also, Jason, I
Right,
love how
yes.
in the movie, no one wants to call themselves the Core Four, and you just pull that one out.
Right.
Like, no,
They
we're running
all
with
give
this.
in. They all give in. At
But
some
got
or
point.
like I
to.
said, or if you were going to pull that thread, I hate to say it, you got to kind of pull that thread. Like Sam should have been a boy if you were going to use this thread down the line, because yeah, with a girl or a woman, women's interactions aren't going to be as physical. But if it was like a man, you could see random dudes coming up and being like, "I'm gonna fight this fucker." Like, fuck him. I know he did it. I'm about to fight him. Where when it's a woman, it doesn't come off the same, especially in Hollywood when it comes to that kind of aggression.
But let's
So
also
if it would have been a boy, that would have been a great thing to go with. Imagine him
Hard
running from
disagree.
Ghostface.
Hard disagree.
I'm just saying. I mean, you could disagree, but we can pull out
I
the
know.
movies.
Lisa's like, anybody can catch these hands. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but imagine how
These
funny
days, thems,
Scream
anybody can
6
catch
would
these
have been
hands.
if
Don't
we would have had a
discriminate.
man running from Ghostface, and as he's running from Ghostface, another random dude clotheslines him because they think he's really the killer. Like, that would have been hilarious.
Equal rights, equal fights, man.
Right.
That's what Lisa's about.
I agree. But
Hold my beer.
Hollywood
Hold
kind
my
of
cigarettes.
frowns upon that. Especially if it had been like random dudes trying to fight Sam on the street. Hollywood really frowns upon that.
Yeah. But let's also be clear, like in the last like 3 Scream movies, Ghostface has been a 100-pound girl. And so like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter at this point. Like anybody can be Ghostface. Anybody can get got. Like it's
Yeah. We all know once they put that mask on, they are
super
like the strongest person ever.
Mhm.
They're the fastest person ever. Obviously, they're
Clumsiest.
psychic.
Don't forget about clumsiest person ever.
Clumsy, they're psychic. They know exactly where a person's gonna be.
They can dodge bullets.
They know. Yep. Yep. It's fine. The mask gives them all the power they need, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like how in Fast and the Furious, their superpower is cars. In Scream, the superpower is the mask. Once you put that sucker on, you're invincible, man.
Yeah.
Until you take that off, you are unstoppable. Right? I don't care who
For a
you go.
second there.
Immediately gain 80 pounds of muscle
Yeah.
and about 6 inches of height.
I don't care who you going up
Second there, I
against.
thought you were going to be like, this is like Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Once you put that mask on, you become something totally different.
You become a
There's
roast
an Easter egg
person.
for Halloween.
Also, I just want to say how you're talking about the utilizing the like area that they're in and how nothing's safe. I
Mhm.
think that's a big reason why people like having settings in the city. Like, so that's
Yeah.
a city versus a suburb, because the city just
Mhm.
allows for a lot. It's a more fun playground.
And New York is the perfect place because New York is, if you, especially on the chain, they don't care about you.
Yeah,
Like
for
you
real.
getting stabbed is, if you're gonna make me late, you need to bleed off on the on the
Mhm.
subway platform. Don't bleed out in this train.
Yeah. So I hope it stays in New York, because I agreed. It made more sense that they could get to places a lot quicker, and that they're, I hope they keep it in the city.
Yeah, definitely good use of the setting right there.
Yeah.
Even though they probably shot it in Atlanta.
Definitely got shot in Atlanta. They already are shooting the next one, I think, or something like that.
Man, they're
Good for them.
putting Jenna Ortega to work.
Well, hopefully
I
this next
know.
one will be have time travel in it. So
They go to space. They gotta go to space.
I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with that.
yeah, I was like, didn't Jenna Ortega just get cast in like Beetlejuice 2 as well? Like she's
Yeah.
like really taking the Scream Queen thing to like the ends of the earth.
Look,
like
make your
she
money,
may become the
girl.
greatest Scream Queen of all time. I mean, the way she's racking up these credits.
I mean, arguably, she has a good resume to make that claim at right now. Honestly,
I've only seen her in the middle on the Disney Channel and in the Wednesday show and Scream.
don't
That's
remember
it.
that one.
So yeah, we
I haven't
got,
seen her in anything
Wednesday,
else.
You got Scream 5 and 6. You got X.
X.
She was
I
in
can-
that one.
She's in a
it's-
couple other ones.
And it's a one more that I'm forgetting too.
I'm gonna figure
But
it
anyway.
out right now because I don't like leaving things unsaid. IMDb, do your thing. Got
Yeah.
the
So, but
Fallout.
yeah, she's
Choosing
been.
you. That's kind of
Oh yeah, second
Yeah,
season.
that's
of
what it
You.
was. You. Yep.
I stopped watching
So-
that season.
Yeah, like she pretty much is about to
Trash.
become like. I mean, you're right, Jason. I can't even think of.
American
you got Jamie Lee
Carnage.
Curtis naturally.
Studio 666. He was in that.
Yes, yeah, that's what it was with Foo Fighters. Yep.
The
That
Babysitter
went to see
Killer
when I was
Queen.
high
She
as
was
a
in that.
kite.
Oh, the
that.
babysitter was. I did see that one. That one was a fun one. That was a little hidden gem.
Most of her CV is horror or horror.
But what's her first one? Stuck in the Middle.
No,
the
it's
Disney
Eleanor
Channel.
of Eleanor of Avalar, Discovering the Magic Within.
Disney
no, that's
Channel.
not it. there's a whole other page. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She was number a cute one. Girl. Rob.
I mean, Samara Weaving is up there too.
I don't know who that is. Was that the first kill?
That was the first. Yeah. That was the first kill. She was in
Ready or Not. This one. Yeah, she was in Ready or Not. She was in this one. She's the babysitter in the Babysitters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready or Not.
So, I mean,
we'll spoil Ready or Not, and your next will spoil you for slasher films because you're like, why aren't you fighting back? They fought back in those films.
Yo, for real though. For real. Ready or Not was so good.
Yeah.
That movie was so good. Okay.
So guys, do you want to do the ratings on this here movie?
Yeah, let's do that.
Category rise. Let's just do one thing. I don't know. Let's just do one thing. What on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, or no, we do the head canon circus thing. That's what we do. Head canon circus. If it's good, we give it a head. If it's canon or mid, give it canon. If it's terrible, give it circus. Y'all know what we're doing.
Yeah.
How would you rate the kills in this movie, Scream 6? Lisa.
Head.
Jason.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I like this new echelon of like the very fast, numerous stabs at once on people. Yes. It's kind of like it's almost like Child's Play goofy, but like really, really. I'm like, yeah, that's how you should be stabbing someone. Like going to town on them.
You can't just get one. You got to get like 19 or 20. You know,
right?
Ask the British youth. Oh no, they should have done that.
Yeah,
but Gov, what about school shootings, Gov? That's what they're gonna say.
You let us worry about our problems. You worry about your problems.
I would definitely give the kills in this a head. These were fun and spectacular, and gory. Yeah, it was great. Poor Chad. He's gonna have a hard time finding women after this, which is funny because I didn't know this because I just looked up his name. That's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son. He looks like him. Now that I see it, I'm like, yep, he looks like him. But
I'm gonna have to reevaluate. I'll look again.
He's got the same chin and the same head and the same skin tone. But that
let's keep going. Task at hand.
Let's give our final ratings for this thing on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being doo-doo and 5 being the greatest thing ever. Obviously, because Jason hates this, I'm gonna have to qualify these numbers. Don't correlate with anything else.
Ever. Just for this moment.
Yeah, this is only for this right now. What would you rate this?
I would take discretion with it because even when he was on the show, I said the number system just tells how much we would suggest the movie. Like, yes, is The Godfather a 5? Absolutely. But is Aliens a 5 to me? Yeah. But they're 5s for 2 different reasons. I still would tell you, go see the movie. So I will say,
I think he was just so offended that I gave Alien like a 3 when I gave something else, and he was just like,
"That's exactly what it was."
You gave The Notebook a 6. An Alien,
what?
Right? Like this scales at just how much we would suggest it. Like, we're not going on an echelon of. Okay, well, this is a 5.
There is an actual scale mathematically that we figured out where each one of these films are in relation to one another. There's a formula. If you go on our website, you can see it. We'll have it up there. No, we won't. Lisa, go ahead and give us your
5. 5.
All right. Lisa gives it a 5. Jason, what would you give it?
Wow, I can't believe Lisa's higher than me, man. I'm going to give it a 4.5, man.
Oh.
Man, you're...
Look, okay, I guess that's we didn't talk about any negatives in the movie. The only negative I really have is like it's starting to get real Scooby-Doo-ish at the end now. Like, I love the first act. I love the second act. The third act, I was kind of like, and then when it was revealed, I was like, so it's starting to get like, it's starting to get like, we would have got away with it if it wasn't for that core 4. Like, yeah, that's why I'm giving it a 4.5. The third act, very ending is kind of just like, and then when you find out certain people survive, I really was like, ugh.
No.
So yes, 4.5.
I am great with at least 2 people surviving. Maybe the other 2 could have died, but at least 2 of these people, I'm fine with them when they survive, and you know why. But I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 too. I had so much fun with this movie. It was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, they need to put Hayden Panettiere back to where in her cryogenic freezer, because they let her thaw out enough for this one.
yeah, she didn't look spectacularly
but I'm glad she's working. That's all that
youthful. Let me say that. Let me change it. I thought she was older than what she was when looking at her facial features. So I think if she would have been the age I think she was, I'm like, oh, she looks great for her age. But when I found out the age she was, I was just like, huh. Man. Okay, interesting.
I'm not gonna
feel like she's had a rough life.
She was a child star.
Got murdered.
What she almost get murdered?
In real life?
No, in the show.
What did Mila Ventimiglia do to her?
And she was a cheerleader. She's had a hard career, always like dying over and over and over.
That's true. Just can't seem to call it a day. Can't quit.
Can't quit. I love
sunscreen goes a long way. People forget that.
All right, yeah, long. Well, we're black. We don't know. Black don't crack. Here we go. After a catastrophic crash on an unknown planet, pilot Mills quickly discovers he's actually stranded on Earth 65 million years ago. Now, with only one chance of a rescue, Mills and the only other survivor, Koa, must make their way across an unknown terrain riddled with dangerous prehistoric creatures. That is what Google says about the new Adam Driver vehicle 65. Now, obviously, if you don't know, now you know. Everything we do a 1-sentence review. Lisa, go ahead and... Well, Lisa didn't see this movie. Jason, go ahead and give us your 1-sentence review for 65.
This is the Jurassic Park sequel we needed, wanted, and should have been.
Oh, okay. That's an opinion. For me, they should have left this fossil in the dirt.
Oh,
good. I love it when we don't agree.
I'm honestly, this is not a bad movie in any stretch or sense of the film. It's just a mad movie to me. It is what it is. It's if you wanted to go see Adam Driver fight dinosaurs, this is the movie for you. He's Adam Driver. He's fighting dinosaurs, and it's what it says in the tin. That's all it is to it. And if you like that, you're gonna like it. I was like, I don't know if these dinosaurs are the dinosaurs I wanted him to fight.
I have a question. Which the introduction might have said this already, but is he time traveling or he's an alien?
In fact, the fact that he's on 65 million years Earth doesn't play into the story whatsoever, in my opinion.
No.
Whatsoever. He could have been on any other planet with dinosaurs on it, and it would have made...
I feel like they were just like, like the movie After Earth, but like, oh, get it, guys, it's Earth. Right? I feel like that movie was like really trying to be like, look, it's Earth, when it's like, you're right. It could have been Astro World for all we cared. It'd been the same thing.
In fact, I probably would have liked it more if they hadn't spoiled the fact that it was supposed to be Earth, like in the trailers or in the very first 5 minutes of the film. Like, it's because like he doesn't care that it's Earth. He doesn't know that it's Earth. It does nothing for him. Him being there does nothing for the story. It's just that he fights dinosaurs, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, that's cool. It does not. It does.
So.
Yeah, it's Adam Driver. He's just like really, really tall and strong and dark, and I'm fighting a dinosaur. That's how he talks.
Hot, so
Look, you say that, and it's so weird because it's almost like they had this movie, and the studio was like, "Hey, nah, we got to put it on Earth," and they're like, "Okay, we'll rewrite that," and they were like, "Hey, no, we got to make sure that people know this is on Earth, though," and they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll just make them have a comment about it." And they're like, "No. The audience may not get it, so you need to tell them this is Earth, and it will blow their mind." actually put it in an ad, so it won't even blow their mind. They'll just know coming in, and then like you literally get the words scroll.
This is Earth, 65 million years ago, like
Right.
on the screen. And then at the end, they do this thing like I guess can we go into spoilers here? Because let's be honest. He gets off the planet. Okay, he leaves, and then they like have the end of the movie where they have the shot of like where the dinosaurs died, and like they have a couple more shots, and then it's like, oh yeah, modern day time. It means nothing. It does nothing. It's not like they found his spaceship and was like, oh, we got technology now. It's like it could have been any other place on this planet or in the universe other than Earth, but like it had to be Earth. And one of the things that I didn't like is like these in the trailers, it makes you think that these are like Tyrannosaurus Rexes and raptors and all the stuff that you see in Jurassic Park. And they're really just like, I don't know if these are like they did the best research and like, what actually dinosaurs were there 65 million years ago? Or they just like, just make it look like a T-Rex. It's not an actual T-Rex. That's actually.
They did. Some of them did. Some of them didn't. Some of them look like raptors. Some of them didn't. Like they had a mix of. Like I feel like this was a situation where they're like, "Hey, don't make them look completely like Jurassic Park." Because some of them like did like it was especially that final one where it was two creatures. One was a T-Rex. The other one was some kind of hybrid lizard weird thing that was like. Yeah. Like
he was like, I don't like you, by the
way. So let me go because I'm gonna let Jason finish crapping on it. Oh, let's say mine on it. I will say this. The reason why I like this movie is because it was very refreshing to go into a movie for once, and it was straightforward. It was no twists. It was no like, oh, but what about this? It was none of that shit. It was just, hey, dude. You got a mission, got to get to a point, got to go to terrain, got to not be eaten by dinosaurs. Let's go. And then it wasn't even played for tongue in cheek. Like it wasn't no wink at the camera moment. It was literally played real shit. And then know what the most amazing thing? When I was like, oh, I love this movie. You know why? Because for the first time in a very fucking long time, the kid isn't a moron in the movie. The kid actually is a kid and does what smart kids do, which is listen to adults for the most part. And even at one point when I thought she was going to be a moron, I remember when they get to the ship and she walks out the back, I'm like, oh, here we go, the kid stuff. And I'm like, oh no, it was just a normal thing. Like she's exploring the ship to find her parents. Yes, because a regular kid, any human being would have done the same thing. And so I was like, wow, you can write movies where the kid is actually not a nuisance and not causing a bunch of trouble and damage. Like
not a fucking menace.
I don't know. I guess for me, I think that's why I like the movie so much more because I guess I'm so tired of watching all these movies that like you got to give them some spectacular wildest. And it's like, nah, this movie's about what it sold you as. You walked into it thinking Adam Driver fighting dinosaurs. That was it. Even the jump scares were not jump scares in the sense of being like, "Ooh, we almost got you." It was
there's a dinosaur there.
Real dinosaurs. Like, yeah, you're jumping because the dinosaur's about to attack this motherfucker because they're hunters. They're not Jurassic Park where they got personalities. No, they're fucking beasts. They're hunting this dude. Not even hunting this dude. They just happen to be in an area where
they just want to fuck shit up. These dinosaurs are just like, we're here to make sure everybody has a miserable time. That's what we're here for.
Right. I'm perfectly fine with that. God, Hollywood, can you give me more of these movies? Like, Jesus Christ, like if this would have been the 90s, this would have been a direct-to-DVD B movie. And it would have worked perfectly as that. So I'm not upset that I pay my money for it because we don't get movies like that anymore that are B movies that are just fun. Actually, the other day I was watching a movie called The Outlander. A fun movie. And it was like, we don't get those movies anymore in sci-fi and these genres. So I loved it. It was straightforward. Adam Driver was cool as hell in it. Kylo Ren was out here handling his business. The little girl was not annoying as fuck. And she did what she was supposed to do, which is be the heart of the movie. And the dinosaurs were just what they were. Reckless forces of nature that they had to battle to get to a goal.
Just
the end of the movie. Yes.
I don't even care if this is even worth.
Like, oh, he gonna be around here waiting in the corner. Like, no, dinosaurs don't do that. They don't do that.
There was this one scene where the dinosaur was like, "You're just doing this for the movie because you know you're in a movie. We're in the cave, and the dinosaur is like, going back and forth in the dark. It's like, you know you're in a movie, dinosaur. Because a real dinosaur is just like, I'm just gonna eat the thing that's in front of me and like not play with it. But there's only like 4 characters in this movie, and 3 of them get names, and one of them doesn't even get a name.
Yes. Yeah.
She's just the other person's mom. Don't even name
her. Yeah.
I'm kind of. I guess this is now. It's now a trope now where you have, dads who need to protect little girls, and that's the thing. And I'm just like, maybe you don't need to put someone in the fridge for a man to be like, I'm going to protect you because I just want to do that. I don't need a surrogate daughter. I'm just being a good person. But that's just nitpicky, as I always say. That's not really a big deal.
I think you have to do it like that, or else it's creepy.
It's creepy either way.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying,
it's less creepy.
But I think that's why they do it like that, because otherwise you just have this old guy.
Let's be honest. It's just like, you're mine now.
Yeah, so if you're like, oh, well, it's a surrogate daughter, and if they have this tragic backstory and blah blah blah, and they're like, oh, they're dad, and it makes it more palatable.
I need more surrogate moms and sons. How about that? We got enough dads and daughters. Get some more single moms out there trying to save little boys.
You can't do that, because then you have a main character as a woman, and nobody wants to watch that.
Touche.
So you have to have a main character with Adam Driver. People will watch it. See?
And the crazy thing, even in this movie, to speak of that, and the fact you just said it, you're 100% correct. But 2, there was nothing in this movie with Adam Driver that was specifically made for a man.
No.
Everything he did, a woman could have done.
Easily.
It was no feats of strength. It was no accelerate. It was just he was smart. He used his technology. He came up with plans, and he executed plans.
I want to shoot these dinosaurs in the face with this gun.
right.
Anybody can do that. That's not a gendered thing to do.
right. It was hey, we're going to survive, and this is how we survive. And I didn't think about that, because usually you get the tropist stuff with men where it's oh, he has to lift something really huge and heavy, and you get the trope that the man has to do. Yeah, but nothing in here was tropishly man. It was
he has to hunt something and kill it to bring it for her to eat or something like
that.
Right. You gotta cut it up and eat it.
And even his knowledge of everything was very limited. He uses technology to figure out what could be eaten, what could be drank, what could not. And so like I said, I thought, I can't reiterate, guys, if you're going to see this movie, you're getting exactly what you pay for. I feel like the cocaine bear, it wasn't enough bear on cocaine. I feel like it was a lot of other side characters. Though this movie, it is nah, we're going to give you enough to know that he had a life before he landed on this planet. And then once he on this planet, we off to the races. We don't give a damn. So
I also liked how in the movie it doesn't just wholly hit you over the head that things have gone bad for his family. It trips it to you over time, rather than in most other fiction, he would have been sitting at his daughter's bedside crying, oh, she's dead. I can't believe it happened. They would have got that out in the first act or whatever. Because she got that movie cough, as I'm going to steal this joke from Double Toasted. She had that oh, daddy, look at this. Oh, no. I'm going to do this to save her.
Now I got to watch that.
We know what was going to happen.
They did had a movie cough. You don't know what she was sick with, but she was coughing. And it was oh, damn, she about to die. Also, too, I thought it was a good twist to have them not speak the same language. Yeah. I think also that helped with a lot of the whiny kid trope, because you couldn't understand what she was saying. So it was oh, okay, yeah, I guess we're just going to go. I don't know. I think they did a lot right with this movie, and I think it's rare to see a movie just hit on the head what it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be winning no awards. We're not going to probably remember this movie 7 years down the road. This is going to be one of those movies where oh, yeah, remember Adam Driver's in 65? We're oh, shit. Yeah, that movie was pretty cool. It's one of those movies for him. And I enjoyed the fact that it was 90 minutes, came in, did what it's supposed to do, and I got up out of there. I didn't sit around for 3 hours, be oh, it's 3 hours long. I guess we're going to figure out what new Tyrannosaurus, Tyrannorex, blah, blah. And only issue I had with is that the ticking time clock they kind of presented
Throw
near
that in
the
there.
end.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
threw
that was
in
just
there.
useless. Like they make it so
Yeah.
like the asteroid that starts the ice age was coming to the planet when they were doing it.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, like he already had an urgency to get the fuck off the planet. It
They're
wasn't like he needed that.
dinosaurs. Like, I don't want to be
Right.
here.
Like, but they do make it like, okay, he didn't notice that until like majority way through the journey. But then like the ending scene that plays a role in it, which I thought was just, yeah, that's my really
No,
only
we
big
gotta-
critique because
We
it
gotta
wasn't
be
needed.
here. Last second, guys. Like,
Yeah.
if he was 3 seconds late, he would have been a fossil.
Also, that alien like creature didn't realize I was Hot Geyser. Like he lives there. You would think,
Yeah,
but
he was like,
anyway,
I'm gonna walk around it. I live here.
right.
Like, I know what it is. I don't understand like how you know what it is because you're not from here, but I'm from here.
Right. The only thing I could accept on that is that maybe because that dinosaur he had fucked with earlier was tracking him, so the area where he found them was unfamiliar land to him. That's the only thing in my mind I could speculate why an animal that lives there that knows this exists would just walk over it like, oh, okay. So
That dude, that T-Rex thing or whatever it was like, I don't even know you, but like I don't like you at this point.
it was
like-
him up in the face.
It felt like that was supposed to be like the main, antagonist the whole entire time. But like you only see him like twice. He's like there in the cave, and then like he comes back in the end. Because at first I thought the two dinosaurs attacking the ship was him, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
And then there's a third guy. He's like, found you, motherfuckers. It's like, were we not friends? Were we not, like you trying to
Also,
I fought back.
It's funny. I was like, as I was watching into the movie, I'm like, oh, Jason's gonna hate this because Chekhov's bone didn't come back to play. And it did. I was like, oh, okay, good. Yeah, like good. This is even though it came back to play in the most unrealistic way ever, but I was like, at least they used it.
The only other thing that I can say that they need to stop doing is y'all need to stop running into shit in space, guys. Like y'all can go anywhere. Space is huge. Stop running into shit. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, a magical asteroid field just appeared out of nowhere. So you didn't see that like 300 miles away with all the technology?
6 light years away. You didn't see this. And the thing I did like is the fact that even though there were people cryognically on the ship, he wasn't. Like, which was like kind of, I'm like, it's a 2-year trip. You were just sitting there in your room by yourself for 2 years. Like, y'all didn't get another dude. Like, even now, we got 2 dudes flying the plane.
I could have read so many books if I didn't have anyone interrupting me for 2 years.
Yeah, but he would be asleep while I'm
my
doing
whole
work, and I
TBR
would
would just be done.
just stacks and stacks of books. Lisa would be like, "Oh, we're
It'd be
here."
glorious.
Fucking the whole
Damn it.
Glorious. Sounds like a
waiting
vacation.
now over the weight limit because all Lisa's books. Like, keep them coming.
She gets to the point like, some of y'all can't get on.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, George. Next trip.
I'm coming back. I'm
Put like
popping.
that case of
Please
spam. Put
take
another
him.
rack of books in.
But I would get less books. My kid got the cough, so we gotta hurry this up.
Caught the movie coughitis. About to
Look,
die
Dad,
soon.
teach me how to whistle. Like, oh shit, no, baby.
All right, let's hit the ratings. We
Yeah.
can include Lisa with the next topic.
1 out of 5. We're gonna do this 1 out of 5. We don't really need to do the headcanon circus thing. 1 out of 5, Jason. What would you give it?
I would give this a 3, man. It was a solid 3. I enjoyed it, man. I sat down and got all my money's worth and had a great time.
I hated every second of this. I would also give it a 3.
Take that, Ron.
Yeah.
Right. Coming disrespecting our movie going. Our movie rating system. How dare he? I dare
Please come
he.
back on again.
I know.
I always like having Ron on. It looks so great. All right. Now for the serious meat and potatoes of this show. The thing that people have been waiting for the last 9 weeks here.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us. And if you don't know, here's what Google says about The Last of Us. Joel and Ellie, a pair connected through the harshness of the world they live in, are forced to endure a brutal circumstances, and ruthless killers on a trek across post-outbreak America. That's basically it. Before we get to our one sentence review, are we going to do full spoilers here and talk about this whole thing, or are we just going to try to beat it?
Yeah, at this point, I mean, if we're going to knock it out,
it's the end. Yeah, it's not like.
So, before we get to our one sentence review, full spoilers ahead for The Last of Us. So, Lisa, go ahead and hit us with your one sentence review for The Last of Us.
Okay. The Last of Us reminds us who the true villains are in a post-apocalyptic world. Humans.
I was going to say the government. Jason, hit us with your one sentence review.
I'm sorry, man. You gotta get that girl brained up to save humanity. Fuck that.
Oh, for me, this is the last zombie show you'll ever need to watch. Let's just go back. Let's talk about the moral quandary that Joel presents himself with in The Last of Us. Like,
fuck the world. What are you saving them for? I would have done the same thing Joel did. I would have saved that girl. Who cares? And what are they going to do with the cure? Like, humanity, they're all fucked up. Let them all die. Save Ellie. Go live on your farm. Go live on your farm. Raise your sheep. Who cares about everyone? Because they're just going to squander it, and they're just going to make it a political thing anyway. And then it's going to be like the rich getting the cure and the poor. Like, no. The end.
Well, I know who's not going to be on my team during the zombie apocalypse. Jason, I mean, well, obviously, we know what you feel about this, but
yeah. You gotta let that shit burn, bro. Not only do you gotta let that happen, not only like the lives that he took to get that done. It's like the people working on the Death Star. We don't know if they were bad people. They were just ends to a means at that point. They were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna be patrolling the 3rd floor, and I got a bullet in the head because somebody kidnapped some random shit." Like, I'm just going patrol,
wasn't even supposed to work today.
I got kids at home. Like, I got a wife and kid at home that I can't go home to. This joker just popped me in the head. And even the one joker that was like trying to put down his gun and be like, "Nah, you got it, bro.
You got it. I don't care."
Like, yeah,
I would do this on the weekends anyway.
I get it. If you're gonna go do this, you gotta go fully commit because you don't want anybody trying to chase you and come back after you later. I get why he did it. My point still remains is that the bodies that he piled up just to do that for one girl, and I get it. He lost his. This is the surrogate replacement, and I know people have that argument like Captain America. No one life is worth blah blah blah. We can find another way. Nah, nigga, there ain't no other way. Look around you. This is it. When giraffes is in buildings is eating fucking leaves, it is over. Do something, man. Like, save humanity. Take the L, bruh. Like, I get it. You care about her. But you also got to realize that all these other people got families and stuff, too, that don't want to lose their loved ones because of this virus. And you like, nah, bruh, I can't let my girl go out like that. So I got to go clap on the whole building. All the whole building. Like, you couldn't even leave the left side alive. He was like, nah, we're going to find all the bodies. We're clapping everybody. I'm sorry, man, I can't.
There's people on the lunch break who's not even concerned, just eating sandwiches. He's like, I gotta
right.
Down the hallway. He needs to go down.
Yeah, it's probably other people injured in this hospital that need treatment. Joel done clapped the whole doctors and the medical staff. These niggas going down from infections.
He let the 2 nurses live. There's nurses.
Yeah, man, one of them chicks ain't about to do shit, but go home to their husbands and be like, man, this life is fucked up. I quit.
He had to kill the doctor for
story.
Oh, I give the reason for killing the doctor. I'm not knocking that because the doctor was not trying to play that game, so you got to kill his ass.
Yeah, but for more story reasons why you had to kill the doctor.
Also, so it depends on how you play the game. Because remember, this is based off a video game. So there are people who play the video game where they didn't kill everyone in the whole hospital. And then, but I guess whoever was playing this video game
was like,
like, nope.
Joel was like, man, I'm turning to John Wick for a moment. I'm going through all these motherfuckers. Like,
he sure did.
So I'm going to split the difference here because I 100% believe that Joel was absolutely wrong. He was undoubtedly wrong for what he did, but I would have done the exact same thing. I would have been like, fuck these jokers. Because guess what? They're both wrong. The Fireflies are wrong because they didn't try anything else. You couldn't just biopsy, do a blood test, do some science first. But Joe was also wrong because in his mind, they had a cure. And he was like, I like her better.
Yeah. And my thing too is like did you guys ever read World War Z? Not watch
Yes.
the movie.
One of my
but read
favorite
the
Yeah,
books.
book.
yeah.
So like in World War Z, there's no cure, right? They just humanity
Live
just
with it.
they just figure out a way to live with it. And I just think that it's been 20 years. Like, this is all you can come up with. Y'all are idiots. Like, you don't deserve a cure because you're all dodos at this point.
And-
like, it's not even like it's just like the least of the least people. And it's time to just
And we
let
also
them all
get
die
several
out.
examples of people throughout the show that have learned to find happiness and thrive in this world, who are not, bloodthirsty murderers killing everybody who they see.
Yeah.
We got Frank and Bill, which is I still cry myself to sleep thinking about them.
That
we got
episode. We'll have to dive into that stuff later. But since we're still talking,
Jason's like, why do gotta be gay though?
The end.
Don't do that to me.
or the old Indian couple, like, oh, they're the cutest. Or Jackson, Wyoming, which is like hilarious because Jackson is like the home of billionaires and shit. Like, that's where they retreat to.
Mhm.
But they turned out to be a sustainable communist society who where they're thriving and living and enjoying their lives. So it's like, would the cure be cool? Yeah. Do they need one? Not really.
No, yes, because the people who are going to survive and thrive, they're already doing it. We've already had an entire generation pass, and that's that. And like, and the ones that are having mass casualties are the fucking cannibals and that are just going out just murdering people for no reason,
or being fascists.
Yeah, like.
But was Joel right?
Let humanity die at this point. What, like, nah. If it was the first 5 years, absolutely, right? But like, no, it's been too much time. I agree with Jason. I would have done the exact same thing. Do I think it's right? I mean, I think that's where you talk about like ethically and morally. So morally, it was right for Joel, ethically not right for the entire world, but who's to say that other parts of the world don't have a cure already and they just haven't shared it?
As I said, both sides are kind of in the wrong because they don't give Ellie a choice, and even if they did give him a choice, they have no infrastructure. They're terrorists. How they're gonna, circulate a vaccine throughout the world?
Yeah, they're not going to. They're like you said, they're terrorists.
Doctor,
they're not going to.
And any doctor will tell you, like, they didn't try a biopsy first. They didn't do blood tests. Like, they're just going to cut her brain open. The one person they know has a cure, like, who is not affected, they're just going to kill her. Like, it's kind of dumb. But Joel does not know that. He thinks they're going to save.
We're privy to that.
I was just about to get to the point that, like, from the perspective we're learning, Joel doesn't know shit except for the surgery they're going to do is probably going to kill her. I'm going to go on a Michelin Man mission to kill everybody.
No, it's definitely going to kill her. They're cutting open
Joel
her brain.
He's wrong. Because not only is he wrong for killing all those innocent people, he might be morally right for saving Ellie because these guys are fucking morons. But then he goes on and lies about it to Ellie too. He takes her agency away from her by lying to her. So like, and all of that, he has obfuscated like any right that he might have had to do this, right? But as I said, the Fireflies are wrong too. So there's and that's what's so great about the show is that it gives you this moral quandary of like, what side would you be on? Like
morals and all that. Like Joel is even morally not right. Like his moral compass is that one life is more important. Now again, if he would have strategically snuck in and did all this, I'm with you. He basically just said that one life is more important than everybody else's life because it's important to me. That's not a morally right thing. That's selfish and it's disrespectful to everybody else. Now,
my child's more important to my life.
It's morally it wasn't his child.
It wasn't his child. So
it was his surrogate child.
It don't matter.
He picked her up. They bonded.
So if it would have been a fucking dog and it would have been his dog, then y'all saying it's the same thing. He's right.
Yes, I would have murdered everyone for my dog, Jason.
Everybody.
Let me not watch that.
Come on, that's not morally right.
Not a dog.
Morally right. That's morally corrupt and broken and selfish. Because if it was anything else that we killed all those people for one thing, we would be like, that's fucked up. But for the fact that it was something that he only personally cared about.
So morals are personal. So it would have been morally wrong for you, but not morally wrong for her because Morals are your personal standards. So his standard is no matter what, my
Well, no,
child
a moral
is
in that case that's just an opinion of a feeling. And a moral is a standard that people
absolutely.
accept across the board. And personal
Yes.
morals are based off the acceptance of morals across the board. No one's going to say the life of one person is important enough to kill that many people.
Captain America says we don't trade lives. Okay, if Captain America says it, then I think and believe it.
Yeah, but Captain America did also slaughter 60 people to save that one life.
Touche.
Like, yeah, Captain's like, no, we're not killing nobody in here. We're gonna figure it out.
And we all just
This
talk
hooker
about.
was like,
hold on, everybody, let's talk about this first. Like, if they're like any other way.
But
Can we
again,
get a
like,
second?
the thing is, like, the Fireflies, like, I know that he doesn't know this, but so let's just take everything out. The Fireflies, they're still experimenting. They're literally just pulling her brain out just to experiment. So they're essentially,
Which is wrong.
probably just
I
wasting
agree.
their entire option. You know, like, I don't understand why that should have been like the absolute last. Hey, we've run all these tests, blah blah blah. But like, they're like, oh, this is the only one that we know, the only person that we know who is capable of surviving a bite.
I
Like,
need
let's
to
just
find
take her
another
brain
doctor.
out. Like that.
I need y'all to find
It's-
one
Well,
more
I mean,
doctor.
well, they did say some sciencey stuff before and how they knew this was gonna work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in regards to that, like they figured this would save humanity. I get everything everybody's saying. I just look at it
Yeah.
as a simple fact that again, if it was my daughter, I would be like, if that's what it has to do to save humanity,
But you got
she got to take the L, bro. She got to take the L, man. Like we gotta keep this shit going. And if I'm trying to think about everybody else's daughters and kids that can be saved from this type of shit, because I'm assuming this cure, if someone were to get bite, they can give this cure to them, and the fungus would die, and they wouldn't turn. So that means now you have even more protection to go out into the world to save other people, because now you have ability to heal people that get bitten, or you can actually do more things like, you know, I don't know. I'm assuming again, because I don't know about the video games. So I don't know how the cure would have worked, but that's my assumption is that like you get it and it stops you from being infected, which means you make like a bunch of Ellies that become immune, which means that once they have kids in the next generation, they will get those genes and become immune. And slowly over time, this fungus and stuff will die because only people left with that will be the people who are already infected. You kill them off and you keep building. Like that was my parameter on how this was working. Now, if I'm wrong on that and it's a different way and it justifies it, but my sense is again, I get what y'all saying. Humanity was already corrupt and it was going downhill, but that doesn't mean we should can try to save human beings.
I think you're absolutely 100% correct, Jason. I think Joel was 100% wrong for what he did. I believe that in my core. And the only thing I would say is that I would probably still make the same choice for my child. That's my thing. Joel is wrong. Just because he's wrong doesn't mean I can't relate to it.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
He's 100%
I mean,
wrong.
I wouldn't make this exact same choice.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
I would
believe he's
happily
100%
go to
wrong
hell
in my heart.
forever for that
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah,
Yes.
he is definitely doomed humanity to at least another, maybe even extinction. I get it. I 100% get it. Like he is
it's like
wrong.
it's like because the only reason I'm saying this is because I know it's going to get this evolution of like Joel was right. It's like the people that go, well, Killmonger was right. Killmonger wanted to slaughter everybody that wasn't black.
And the fact
that's not right.
And the fact he was like, oh, we'll just give black people weapons. Like black people don't got guns already. Like we still lose, right? Because we're the minority in this country. Like,
but his goal was like, we're gonna just take out all the white folks that oppressed us.
Let's
and
just
go, and everybody's like, yeah, he's right. And I'm like, no, he's not right. Like
that's called genocide, guys.
Yes.
Genocide is never right.
Like, it grows that fandom would be like, oh, one life, kill them all. Even though I fucks with Joel though, because that's straight an OG move to be like, nah, you're not gonna do my old girl like that. Nah, we're not doing that. Especially, I knew it was real when dude put down the gun and he popped him. Yeah, when dude put down the gun, he still popped him. I was like, oh, he on one. He don't give a damn.
He did that throughout the show though. Plenty of people were like, oh shit, you know what? I fucked up. I shouldn't have attacked you. You're right. You got this. Like, we're done. I'm not. And he was like,
yeah, but I'm because usually attacked him first. Hopefully, like he was just getting coffee. It was like, oh, somebody shooting? Oh, no, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm on your team.
Like, who we killing?
I said, don't touch that little girl either, Joel. I'm with you, man.
I don't even know these people. I don't even like them. I don't even go here.
Lisa, what were your top 3 standout episodes for you for this series?
Oh God. So obviously Bill episode. What is that? Episode 3?
Episode
3. Yeah.
Episode 3. I'm so bad with names. The episode where Ellie tries to save the little boy. Yeah, tries to save Sam. That I was inconsolable. I was sobbing.
And you watched James play the game, so you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, and I completely forgot about that entire scene. So my whole family knew, and I had said something that like triggered them, like that tipped them off that I didn't remember Sam dying. And I think it's probably because they had Sam as a kid in the show, and in the game he's a grown up.
He's Ellie's age, or they're like the same.
Yeah, like he's not a little kid. So I just didn't remember that. So I had said something, and they were like, "What do you mean he dies?" And I was just like, "Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God!" You know. So like that, the end of that episode where Henry, right?
Yeah.
Is it Henry? Yeah,
It's
Henry. Ellie tries to save Sam. It doesn't work. Henry has to kill his brother, then he kills himself. I was just like, this show. Like I still think about that moment and just like those horrible decisions that people have to make all the time. And then I want to say the Riley and Ellie episode, because just like, and it's really because of the things that they didn't show. Just to know that they were waiting out to turn together, and she had to just watch her. I can't. It's like choking me up just thinking about it. Just like, yeah, and she just had this like perfect, pure day that she'll never think of ever again without like her best friend just dying. And yeah.
So to bring some levity back to this, both Joel, Tommy, and Ellie have a type.
For sure.
Black women.
Yeah. Yeah. They represent.
They like some of that brown sugar. That's what.
What about you, Jason? What would be your top 3?
Like I think the Bill and Frank episode is it's a masterpiece. It's probably one of the best episodes of television of all time. Like hands down. Like it's so great. And like, you know, all these dude bros out there, it doesn't move the story along. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. It was a beautiful story. Don't care that it doesn't move the plot along. It does. It gives you it's called world building. You can do that, and character development. It's a thing that happens in storytelling.
Yeah.
I really did like the last episode, even though I felt like it was a little bit too soon for me. Like I was like, we get like one more episode out of this, like
yeah.
Especially since like they end where the game ends, where the first game ends anyway. But yeah, the Riley and Ellie episode, that's also really. And I guess this is they have something in common about people who just care about each other, you know, trying to make a way out of no way, and that's like something that's really. That you can really relate to. So those are probably my 3. And the reason I liked the last episode is because, you know, they had Ashley Johnson from Critical Role, who played Ellie in the video game, plus who plays Ellie's mother in the show.
Yes.
And then also one of the nurses was Laura Bailey, who plays Abby in the second video game, who's also in Critical Role. And I stand for those people. Anytime they're in things, I'm just going to be like, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that about the nurse. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's the one of the nurse that is most prominent on the screen. So.
Okay.
But she has her face covered because everybody's like, oh, that's her. That's the girl. That's the girl.
And they had the Joel voice actor.
Yeah, they had Troy Baker was in this, and also the dude that played Tommy in the video game was in this as well. So, but also the showrunner.
Which episode was he in?
He was Melanie Lansky's character, not Marlene, Kathleen's secondhand man, the dude with the beard. That was the guy who played Tommy in the video game. Which is like, I want to go on to like, well, Jason, you go ahead and do your top 3 episodes, but I want to discuss like adaptations in general and how to make a good one after you're done with that.
First episode's probably my favorite episode of all of his first episode, and not just because the whole episode completely, but just the opening segment is so intense. So I think I even texted
It's
you guys
haunting.
and was like, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. So first episode, I think after that, I'm probably going is the Storm Reed or the Riley one where Joel is injured the whole time
Yeah.
too? When at
Yeah.
the end she pretty much goes psychopath on that dude. Is that the same episode or
No, that's the
confusing? Am I
episode
putting two together?
afterwards.
Okay, then that one when she goes psycho on dude when she's
With
trying
the
to take care
preacher?
of Joel and
Oh my god, that's a good
yeah.
one, too.
And they're like trading trying to trade for medicine. I love that
That was
episode
hard
because
to
it
watch.
definitely it's the full circle moment of that Ellie finally realizes how to have to live out there on the road. So I thought that was because we saw through this, there was always hints of her learning more and more when she has to shoot the guy, blah, blah, blah. That moment for me was like, okay, yeah, she realizes this shit ain't a game no more. Like,
and also with that, it's like it's not the annoying child thing where she just completely trusts this guy, right? She realized to be wary with him. Only way she's even interacting with this guy is because he has medicine and she needs to help Joel. And like, so it's not like she's an annoying kid, like, oh, you're a new friend, let's go have fun. And no.
And then I will say the last episode primarily because one, that felt like the most video game of them all. Like this Joker literally was in like a first-person shooter, a third-person shooter, going to that hospital. But then also it gives me such an interesting dynamic for season 2. Like the whole, like you said, Joel lying about it and Joel trying to do things to protect her. It definitely makes me feel like, okay, what's the reaction when she finds out that like, nah, Joel was about that life for her, and this is what he did. And so I think the last episode too was, I think just we'll see how season 2 does. But last episodes, I think those 3 are probably my favorite ones out of all of it. Followed by closely honorable mention is the Bill episode. I did really, really enjoy that, but I like the other ones because I felt like if you watch those 3 episodes, you know everything about the whole show.
Yeah, that's fair. I think also like how you were talking about seeing all the things that Ellie learned with that that episode where she essentially gets kidnapped. You kind of don't realize, like, even though she was born into this world and she's never known anything else, and like she's still kind of innocent.
Yeah.
Like there is still an innocence to these kids that like they've kind of still been protected and sheltered a little bit, and she kind of sees, like, she thought she was a badass, and then she really sees that like there's so much more going on outside of the QZ. And you know, like the first time she sees Riley again, the first thing isn't like, why haven't you written me? It's, I thought you were dead. Like, because you just assume when you haven't seen anyone that just means that they're gone. So it really, the further that the season went on, the more that you got to see how kind of naive and innocent Ellie really was. And she just was kind of pretending to be this badass, and then unfortunately had to become a badass.
But also with that, I loved and Bella Ramsey's performance in this is just top tier for someone so young. You know, usually people who are 19 are still like terrible at things. But I also love, like, even though she had like innocence to her, like she also had a sense of wonder to her too. So like, you know, Joel, and it definitely plays well with Joel, because Joel's like, that's just the world, sweetheart. That's a car. Like, it's just like, look at this thing. This is great. Look at that. Look at this. This is awesome. And he's like, and I love how it not only does it slowly break you down, but it's slowly breaking, you know, Joel down to where he can start seeing the world in a more positive light until he starts killing everybody.
But like little things too that you forget that are like that we take for granted every day. Like, you know, the first time she gets into a car and he's like, put on your seatbelt.
She's like,
she had no idea what he was even talking about.
He just looks at him like, okay, well, put on your bobble hat.
You know, which, like, our kids knew what a seatbelt was before they could even talk, you know? Like, so there's just like all these little things that you don't think about, that I think is so great that the show creators thought about. That, like, oh, people aren't going to know what this is, and they aren't going to know what gasoline is, and they aren't going to know how to like siphon things, and you know, like, Yeah, all those things. Oh, loved it.
And Bella Ramsey's national treasure for all those people who thought they weren't hot enough to play a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, get
You're
out of
weird
here.
and gross.
Why are people weird? Ugh.
I hope both sides.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah, it's been.
Yes.
Twitter is a terrible place.
They were saying that like Bella Ramsey was too ugly to be playing that character and had no business doing it, and they were being nasty. And
yeah, because we can't have nice things. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think Lisa's right. Fuck the world. It's a terrible place.
Yeah, just let
Kill
them
all
fucking burn. Go enjoy your sheep farm.
Even though no.
Yeah,
I
I think I'm turning it around. I think I'm on Team Joel now. Yeah.
Who wants
Also,
to
had a
save
thing
it
was like,
for
did one of
what?
y'all write a post on Twitter about this girl? Okay, I'm killing all y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah, go ahead, Joel. Fuck 'em.
It was
Yeah.
bad. It was so bad. Pedro Pascal, like yeah, like he's had to take Bella Ramsey like completely under his wing, and it's bad.
Bella Ramsey is non-binary, so that's one thing. But also, Pedro Pascal has a trans sister, and he's like, I don't fucks with people like that. I don't fucks with
he had zero tolerance.
Yeah, like
zero tolerance.
Oh, so I didn't know she's non-binary. I don't know shit about
they're
it, so
non-binary.
Yeah.
I guess.
People were upset because Bella Ramsey like binds, like does the binding, so the chest is flatter than normal, and so like there was like Twitter being like, "Why are you doing that? You should just let them and
let them things hang for that 14-year-old girl. I need them.
Stop being gross. Like, don't worry about it. Like, ew.
That's crazy. That's okay. Well, I mean, to each their own, man. I guess can't hate the player, hate the game.
The game sucks. The game sucks. But speaking of the game,
I see why Joel was like, "I'll massacre these people." I remember. Joel remembers Twitter. He's like, "Nah, half of them are probably pieces of shit." So
he does not remember Twitter because the world ended in 2003 for them. So Twitter wasn't a thing then.
Oh, but stupid Facebook was.
Yeah, stupid Facebook.
I was about to say.
Facebook came out. Yeah, he remembers the internet. Speaking of the game,
it's still message boards were terrible too. So.
Yeah. I had a life journal. I'm glad I cannot find it. Thank you very much. This is probably the second great adaptation of a video game of all time, and everything else being just there's not a third. Arcane being the first one that I actually saw that was like, oh, this is a great adaptation for a video game. This is a compelling story. Stop what you're doing right now. I don't know why you're hanging out with us. Go watch that shit.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. I think it's more than that. Are you saying like where the adaptation is a direct reflection of the game, or just a good adaptation from a video game?
Just like a good adaptation from the video game, as well as because I feel like it does the same sort of things that you got in the video game without really changing a whole lot to the story. Because like in Arcane and in this show, the creators of the game were a part of the process of creating this content. Like the Neil Druckmann was the director of the game, and he's the executive producer of the show, and also like the head writer as well. So he's writing episodes from the game into the show. And the same thing with Arcane is that the two guys who the show writers Arcane were studio execs. And I feel like it makes a better project when you have people who actually go ahead, Lisa. I'm sorry.
I have a quick question. Why can't DC do that?
Because they have no
cartoons.
And this is the point that I'm trying to get to.
Well, they tried it. Jeff Johns tried to. I think Jeff Johns tried to hit DC and sucked.
He's not, because he's a comic book writer. He doesn't have any. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Jeff Johns, because like a lot of his shit in the comic books is phenomenal, but like he's not Kevin Feige, who's a movie guy who loves Marvel comic books, right? He's a comic book guy who they threw in the position of being a movie guy, right? So like he might have the skills. I don't know the dude. I just don't feel like he does have the skills to like run a studio,
But isn't that what you're saying? Like they got the people who did the video games to help write the stuff.
Yeah, but they also were able to run a studio. Like they're actually helping. Like,
are they like Salty? Are they in charge of Salty Dog or whatever?
like Neil Druckmann is not in charge of Salty Dog, but he is the director of the video game, so he has an idea of how the content is created, and he's also director of the show as well as writer of the show. And the same thing with the Arcane guys; they were directors of the video game. One guy was the music guy, so that theory falls apart right there. But
listen,
but
I hear what you're saying, but DC needs to do better.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's why I think James Gunn is good, because he's a guy who loves the material, but he's also good at being a director, right?
Yeah.
Unlike someone like Zack Snyder, who's like, the thing that I think that makes adaptations fail is people who might like the stuff, but really like, oh, but this is what I would change. Just I have more ideas to make this better, versus someone who is like, who's like Kevin Smith or James Gunn or all these people who like, this is what I live and breathe. This is why I got into this industry in the first place, because of this stuff. And I just want to make it shine on the screen versus, putting my own ideas, even though, in the creative process, you're going to have to put your own ideas in it. It's not that I'm going to do my take on Iron Man. I'm going to do Iron Man. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm trying to think. I think we've had other good adaptations. I think Sonic worked. I think Detective Pikachu worked. I think.
Oh, I loved Detective Pikachu. I loved it.
I think we've had a nice run recently of good.
Yeah, recently, because they're taking this shit seriously now.
But yeah, I would say Last of Us is probably, and Arcane are probably at the top of the hill right now. But also, they are the most they're serialized versus the other ones we named were just 2-hour movies. So
I'm thinking
but you're
particularly
right.
of Halo the series, which even though I enjoyed it, it's like it doesn't feel like Halo to me, right?
Like, I think the first 2 Harry Potter movies were brilliant. They were pretty close. I mean, you almost don't even have to read the first 2 books.
Yeah.
So I think
Christopher Columbus is just really, really good at what he does.
Right. The next ones, forget it. Like they just did whatever they wanted.
And by the third one, Alphonse Cuarón was like, I don't read books. I'm a movie guy. We're making a movie. Let's do this.
Yeah. And then there was no Lord of the Rings because it's a cajillion pages. So.
And also,
and plus, like I said, I think, I mean, I think you're right. I think if you're going to do, you say adaptations, but I think in particular video games, the hardest thing is because in video game adaptations, like you as the person is what controls the game.
Yeah.
So watching someone else do the game, but in live action, whatever, it's hard to get that same. You're looking for the feeling, less about the actual activity of the game, if that makes sense. Like I think The Last of Us does a great job of giving you the feeling of what the game is. Even though I saw a lot of people feel like it should have been more dirtier and grimier, but you still get that vibe. I think the same thing we talk about how you love Detective
Spores.
Pikachu.
Why not the spores?
You get the cutesy, quirky, fantastical world of Pokemon in Detective Pikachu so well. Hell, parts of the movie, they're just doing things that are just around Pokemon because they want you to engulf. So I think a lot of times in the video game adaptation, it's about the feel. Like you watch Assassin's Creed, the movie, you don't feel the feeling you had playing Assassin's Creed. You can go down a list of all of them. I mean, Prince of Persia, another one where you can make an
brown person in
awesome
that movie.
which that's problematic. But you can make an easy Prince of Persia movie because you literally it's a stunt-based movie. I mean, stunt-based video game. So if you would have kept the essence of the treasure-seeking stunt base, it works. But you didn't, and you decided to go wherever they did. So I think a lot of it just goes with what is the game's essence. And how do I make it feel as a viewer that like you feel the moments? And I think the best ones, like you talked about, you feel the moments, especially because like League of Legends, that's so open world that like making you feel the elements of it in that show is a huge task. And they do it perfectly. As a guy who's never played the game, I'm like, oh man, like when I watch clips of the game, I'm like, oh, this makes sense now. Like, but anyway.
I think that the Dungeons and Dragons movie is going to have that issue. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, and I know I'm prejudging it, but
I mean,
the thing about Dungeons and Dragons is it is very like based on your, campaign based and so many things. So it's a big same thing like when they made that World of Warcraft movie. Like it's almost like too big for your britches type of thing.
The fact that most of the people in the Dungeons and Dragons movies are just regular old people already means they fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have high expectations for it.
That's good. That's my opinion.
I like Warcraft the movie. Two,
Warcraft was fun. It was a fun movie, but I know a lot of people who like hated it because they never, I guess, played that.
For me, I just think they started at the wrong point in the story. They just started at the beginning when they should have started like after, Thrall finds Durotor. And I'm a big World of Warcraft fan.
It's hard when you have something as gigantic as Warcraft, as Halo, as what was the one I just said? I forgot already. Dungeons and Dragons. It's just like this ginormous world. It's almost like just leave it.
It's hard to scale it down to do something in a limited format, which is either a movie or a TV show. Because the movie only got 2 hours to tell this gigantic, sprawling story, or you can just do it like 4 hours and just make sure that no one wants to watch it. And a TV show, even that, especially a lot of video games don't really have a lot of story to them. Like making a Mario Brothers movie is going to be hard because there's no story to it. Right? Like
on the other hand, they made a Dragon Ball Z movie which has tons of story, and they just completely fucked that up. So.
Yeah.
I mean, the story of Dragon Ball Z is to just fight other motherfuckers in the world. That's
no, because you could do Dragon Ball or you could do Dragon Ball Z, and the movie did none of them. They just decided.
They just said, "Here's a character. Here's a character."
They just said, "I want some white people."
Yeah.
Here's our white Goku.
They made Piccolo the whitest of white guys.
Like you literally can make like 3 movies out of just trying to get the Dragon Balls alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
let's not have any of the weird, quirky things that happen in the Dragon Ball world here. Let's just make it regular old, like 2001 Los Angeles. Here you go.
Yeah, high school and I think we've already gotten a good version of Dungeons and Dragons in Vox Machina, so I feel like it's really nothing that we're going to see in this movie that's going to be better than what we saw in that cartoon. So
I'm still hopeful for it because I just want to do well so we can have more Dungeons and Dragons movies, and maybe they'll actually put a nice, sexy tiefling mommy in there for me, but who's purple.
Anyway, back to Last of Us. So Jason,
Team Joel.
So Jason Allen, you did not play the video game, or
no last names.
That doesn't matter. No one's going to come and find me. I don't give a fuck about me. I did not play the game at all. No.
Okay, so the amazing thing is that I've seen a bunch of videos where the reason why the first episode is so good is because they take it like frame by frame with the game in the show. So there's like videos where it's like the game and the show, and that's why it's so intense, because in the game it's like, it's all from that like tight point of view. You're in the car, there's no like outwired, and it's amazing. So if you get a chance, I really, really encourage you to just like go watch like an open, like a YouTube video of like the beginning of the Last of Us video game, because it is just like the show. They did such a great job, and it is so intense, and you don't know what the F's going on. And I remember the first time we played that, we thought that the daughter was the girl from the game, and
so you didn't know that
we didn't know. Yeah, or I did, at least, I guess, when I was playing it. I thought that was the girl from the game. So when she dies in the first, 30 minutes of the game, I'm like, what did I do? Like, I'm waiting for like a game over.
Like a game over. Like you're not supposed to let your daughter die.
So, it's so good. I encourage YouTube watches of that. It's so good. So yes.
Which reminds me, I should probably get my AK just in case of the zombie apocalypse. So that.
Okay, we're not. He didn't say that. Okay.
Look.
Oh, this is Georgia. He can say whatever he wants because they know. So it's fine.
Now we got last names and locations. Lisa.
I was talking. about downtown
See.
Lawrenceville earlier.
Man,
And
Jason got the
serendipitous.
red cup, the red solo out here. He getting
Yeah.
twisted tonight.
Oh, it's
Giant
not
twist.
filled with Bloody Mary like it was last week, though.
Oh.
Am I the
Oh,
only
so-
one that's sober for these shows?
I'm sober.
I'm not drunk. I had a glass of wine.
I had
mean,
one
so-
glass.
Sober
one
just
cup.
means that you have had no alcohol. Doesn't mean
Oh,
you're
then
drunk.
yes, you are.
I am an adult who can enjoy a beverage. We don't know what's in this cup. It could be delicious Mountain Dew for all I know.
I save my wine for our podcast nights.
It's not
Huh.
delicious Mountain
Maybe I'll
Other nights.
pop a gummy next week.
Dew.
Zone out.
We could just all do that.
Oh, I would be useless. I'd be like, wait, what are we talking about again?
Oh, I'll be
Like-
used to too. That time we did a show and I was high as hell, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Wonk, wonk, wonk.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So I don't even know what you guys are talking about right now. Well, that's
What other
funny.
fun things you got for us, Jason? Oh wait, let's rate the show. 5.
5 out of 5.
10, and it gets 5.
Yeah. 5 out of 5.
Alright.
One of the best shows of all time. I mean, it's not Lovecraft Country good, but it's up there. That's my new number 1 show.
Gotcha. Is that all you got for us, Jason?
That's all I got for you. What do you got for us, Jason?
Nothing. I guess if we finish the show, we can round that corner.
Oh, okay. Can I say something?
No.
Oh yeah, go for it. You can always.
So since we're done talking about all this stuff, I went and saw this crazy movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once with my dear friend Jason. And when we left the movie, we were like, what the fuck did we just watch? But we think we love this movie. But still we talked about it for a little bit and we're like, was that hot dog hands? Like what the
Yeah.
never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that it would have swept the Oscars. And I'm telling you right now, when Michelle Yeoh won the Academy Award, I was crying my eyes out. And I was like, I can't believe this crazy movie that we went on a random whim with Jason to see is like
I had to see the movie because we were going to review it. Only thing that I would say that I did not like about the Oscars.
I knew it was gonna come.
Jamie Lee Curtis should have won that shit. If anybody, Stephanie Hsu should have won it, or who I can't pronounce Asian last names. I'm sorry, but who should have won it? It should have been Angela Bassett, the Queen,
for supporting
best supporting female actress.
Okay.
But if they had to pick somebody from Everything Everywhere at Once, Stephanie Hsu's performance of that was way better, in my humble opinion.
Was she up for it?
I don't know if she was up for it, but she should have been.
Okay.
her story is way more affecting than anything that Jamie Lee Curtis did in that movie. Like I'm not an Academy.
Well, we all know that the Academy Awards are all fucking any award show. They're all just
I'm glad that what's his face won for best supporting male actor. I thought that was sweet.
Oh my god! I also cried during his.
I'm not even mad that Brendan Fraser won for best actor. I mean,
I still haven't seen that movie, The Whale, but I think for me, every single person who won from Everything Everywhere All at Once, they all said this is for all the moms. And I just and like I know y'all aren't moms, but like it gets you because people will just say, "Oh, thank you, mom," but they literally were like dedicating their entire careers to their moms, and it got me in my feels, and I just cried. And
I'm not gonna get on gratitude to moms. Just see the old Bill Cosby skit about that. Not about rape. Not about rape.
If you just put something in their pudding box.
Yeah. That skit. That's the Spanish Fly skit. You haven't heard that Bill Cosby skit about what moms and gratitude from kids and all that?
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, he's just like, he's like, yeah, your son plays football and you're in the backyard throwing them passes and teaching them, and he gets up to high school and you're running with him and doing this and that, and he gets to college and then he scores his first touchdown and looks at the camera and goes, "Hi, Mom," and it's like, so
yeah, because his mama was making him lunch and taking him to practice and washing his clothes and making sure he did his homework and
telling him that he loves him and stuff like that.
Yeah. Thanks for throwing the football every once in a while, Dad.
Giving him a hug, making sure that he's mentally okay. Like
Bill Cosby. Can't.
Again, he tells the joke better, but the point is that yes,
I don't. All his jokes are null and void now. I don't care how brilliant they are; they're null and void.
So society that, yeah, I mean, rightfully so. Mothers, police officers, and teachers get the most respect out of all anybody. Like you say something bad about a mom, you get shitted on. A teacher, a police officer, and that's how it should be. Maybe the police one, but mothers and teachers for sure.
Nowadays, a lot because they're trying to teach them that CRT.
Well, that's because that's black people involved in teaching. If you get rid of just in general, if somebody were to go, "I hate teachers," why do you hate? Like they'd be like, "Whoa, what are you talking about?" Like
because they be teaching kids knowledge.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be like, "Hold on, let's hear him out first." Like they're gonna be like, "Oh, bro."
There are teachers I did not like.
Is the mom thing a culture thing? Like because I know a lot of moms who like I my kids are not like this, but I know a lot of moms who tell me like that their kids like talk back to them, are disrespectful, tell them to shut up, never listen to them, like call them stupid. And yeah, like my kids would never. They have a very healthy fear of me. However, I do know a lot of people who do not have that experience.
Because they're progressive parents. They're like, "Oh, okay, it's okay. I'm not gonna discipline you at all because I'm your friend, not your parent." That's what.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. Is it like a culture thing? Because the whole like, think mom, like I just can't.
There's
ever do that.
There's a happy middle between there and where what Jason and I went through.
Okay.
Oh no! Look. I think even the kids that are shitty to their mothers usually like.
I love you, Mom.
Their mothers when they get older. Yeah.
Okay.
Like when they still be once they realize, like you said, who was making their lunches and who was washing the clothes. Like it's an appreciation as you get older. Like, I mean, hell, let's just look at Father's Day and Mother's Day. Man, we go all like Mother's Day is like, man, Father's Day, man, they be like, "Oh, here you go, Dad."
They'd be lucky if you even know it's Father's Day.
They'd be lucky if you even know it's Father's Day. Every day is Father's Day.
You'd be walking out like, "Hey guys, you know what day it is?" They're like,
right.
Get out of here.
We like they forgot again.
You better stop.
No, look, every day is either or. I'm just saying it like,
hey,
like
Jason.
Rightfully so, like the people that gave you
got a point.
Jason, where were you last year on Mother's Day?
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Where was I?
Last
was
year
I with you?
On Mother's Day, where were you?
I don't know what I did last weekend.
You were in Disney World.
Oh yeah, with your husband.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have my kids, so I actually, you know what I did? I visited my mom.
Where were you on Mother's Day? D-A-Y.
I'm never with my mom on Mother's Day. She lives 8 hours away.
You were in Disney World.
I damn sure know you ain't talking to your pops on Father's Day. So
yeah.
Shit.
I'll call him like, "What you doing?"
Right.
Don't even mention it.
Look, and I guess I want to make sure this is perfectly known. People who listen to this. I'm not saying we should compare it. I'm not saying it's not warranted. I think, look, I was raised by a single parent mother with no father. So trust me, it is very warranted. But I always laugh with I'm like, yeah, mothers get all the love. Like dads would be like, man, don't let them lights flicker. If you let your lights flicker as a dad, your dad ain't shit. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's my whole calling card. Do the water be hot? And do the lights work? All right, good. I did my job.
And that's probably why no one gives dads credit, because they're like, I bought you the PlayStation, didn't I? And you're like, yeah Dad, but you didn't tell me I love you for 10 years.
Right.
I got you the
Yeah,
air
you're
conditioning.
right.
No, you got you the air conditioning. I just live here because you're the person I came out like who see that I'm politically related to. I fancy didn't I? Like you're supposed to do those things.
I still want my
are you alive
appreciation.
today?
Shit.
Yeah.
I know your mother may make the sandwich, but who brought the materials?
Yeah.
And by brought, I mean gave her the money.
Yeah, because I ain't going no shopping. I ain't no woman. Like that. There was an "Am I an Asshole" written by a parent who was like, "Well, my son doesn't want to talk to me anymore because he feels like was emotionally abusive to him." The kid is like, I sent you to college, like we did vacations, and you're like, yeah, you sent him to college and did vacations. Did you ask him how he was feeling? Well, no, we don't do that shit. It's like then maybe he has a point.
Yeah.
Look, I'm like Denzel on Fences, bruh. I ain't paid to like you. You got clothes on your back, don't you?
Well,
You
Dad,
got food
I
enough,
didn't
right?
want to be here, so I don't know what we want to do now. Like, you didn't ask me if I wanted to be here, so I guess
ain't got to be your friend. I just got to be your dad. I don't know all that stuff. Oh yeah, but you're right. Dads are broken. I just realized
To sum up,
right. Yeah,
To
dads
sum
are
up.
broken, bro. We just be like, hell, it's dads are so broken. Even if you're not the breadwinner in your house as the dad, you gonna lie and still act like it to your kids.
I got you the
Oh,
bread. Like, mom is
oh, you
only
got
one working right now. What are you talking about?
Right. Oh, I bet you ain't gonna disrespect me with them Jordans on your feet. Like, bruh, my mom brought this for me.
She literally dropped them off at you. I gotta come over here because she dropped them off
Right.
at your house.
right. It's so broken.
Oh God.
I gotta
Like,
sleep
Dad,
in
you
the
never
same
told
room
me
with
you
your
love me.
6
Well,
other
son.
kids.
Right.
Yeah.
I never told me you love me. Well, I mean, I kept the lights on, son. So
Yeah. If that
and you
doesn't spell
still-
LOVE, then I don't know what does.
I ask you one thing. I ask you one thing. Tell me that you love me. Well, I got no. Just say the words. I love you. Well, I bought you them. No.
like you know why you got to do this. You know how I feel about you. You know.
They go,
Yeah.
"Man, I ain't gay."
Why are you even asking? Who said I don't love you?
Right.
Who said that? Your mom
done
say
said
that?
all shit. Your mama
What's
said
your
all
mom
that.
saying about me when I'm not there?
Yeah. See, she went on like feelings and stuff. I'm just trying to make sure you prepared for this life. Yeah,
Well,
we
they gotta
so
love you.
yeah, I tell my other shit all the time. I'm trying to prepare you for life. And that's just my way of getting out of shit I don't understand.
Oh my gosh.
Good old
yeah.
broken day. But I can't wait
Dads
for
are
everywhere all at once the sequel where the dads get the love.
Honestly,
It's
though,
coming. It's
well,
coming.
It'd be like a 15-minute movie. You'd be like, Dad, you never told me you love me. Oh, that's all you wanted? I love you, baby. Come on, go bring it in.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah,
Don't destroy no multiverses while you're out there. All right. See you later.
We
Yeah,
just
Like,
watched
end of the movie.
we just watched an entire show about a dad's love, you know?
yeah,
Just-
he didn't love her
That is
enough to
true.
keep. He didn't love her enough to keep that bullet from hitting her. And that's why he's a terrible dad.
Actually,
That's why
being
he's
completely
broken.
honest, that is actually the theme of this episode. I'm not going to spoil Scream 6, but for those that you know, Dad's Love,
Oh, yeah.
65, Dad's
Dad's
Love,
love.
Last of Us, Dad's Love.
Oh my God, that is the theme of the episode. Wow, we should have done this
Yes.
for
Look
Father's
at us.
Day.
We should have done this on Father's Day. Oh well. Also, it's my birthday month, y'all. So I'll put my Venmo up
Birthday
so all
month.
of y'all can just send me money.
Birthday month.
What are we doing for your birthday, by the way? We're gonna go
I
out.
don't know.
We're
I
gonna
haven't
go, we're gonna go
decided.
party.
I want to go to that Harry Potter exhibit
Mm.
before it leaves.
And give that woman that money.
I
That's fine.
want to go to the
That's
Harry
fine.
Potter exhibit.
Well, let me know.
I
My
wanna
wife
go
is
Not
huge in
think
Harry
about
Potter.
it. God.
My
Just
wife is
live
huge
your
into it. I
life
know
and
my
be
kids
happy.
will love it. Let me know. I
Yeah,
won't go. I'll stay
yeah.
home.
I want to
Yeah.
go. It looks
Ooh.
fun.
We could do like a day out of it, make it a show thing. I don't know.
Yes, it's
Synergy.
in Atlanta. So, I mean, a random city that we don't live in that we never talk about because
That
no
we
one
never
can
been
figure
to.
out where we
We're
live
just-
based
we're
on
going
every
to
single of our
Atlanta.
conversations.
We just like to make up locations. We'll be in Virginia tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whoa. We can't go to
It's in
Virginia.
Gatlinburg. It's in Gatlinburg.
There you go.
That's-
There you go.
Chase us.
All right.
Okay.
Jason, it's that time of the show that this Jason loves the most.
Yeah, the time we get to go to bed. And the Elvis lovers, they're like, fuck these people. Why do we keep
Oh,
watching this show?
Weren't you so excited that Elvis didn't win anything?
Crickets! Crickets!
Nada.
Not a damn thing. Good for him. I hope Elvis is burning in hell along with Ronald Reagan.
Nice.
Lisa, got any parting words for us?
Yes. Obviously support small businesses, support Black-owned businesses. If you are in the fictional area of downtown Lawrenceville, please check
Georgia.
out Serendipity.
30043.
Check out Serendipity's nope, Scrumdiddlyumptious is what it's called. Check out Scrumdiddlyumptious. Get a reservation. They also do takeout, but check it out. They're delicious. Let's support each other.
Probably gonna go there this Friday.
We gotta do things for Jaron on Friday.
Just let us know.
Don't
Forget they close at 3. And
okay. The girls have digital learning, so I may go.
Brunch. It is digital learning. Yes.
No, it's yeah. Well, my son's been sick this whole entire week, so I don't care.
Cutting class, eh?
No, he's been like, I'm dying, and I'm like,
oh yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share if you guys want to. I mean, I got a tattoo on my foot. If y'all want to see it, I'll send you my Venmo. We'll see.
We're not that kind of show, y'all.
We're trying to get some views, so we might be that kind of show.
You want to see my toes?
We're evolving.
Yeah, we're slowly climbing that ladder.
Yeah, we're trying.
Here we come.
Yeah, that's all. But yeah, follow us. Oh, if you're gonna follow me on socials, do it on Twitter and TikTok. Not on Instagram. Instagram is for friends and family only. Not that I don't love y'all, but I don't love y'all that much. So
don't even know them. Jason, any final words?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Well, not the same thing as Lisa. Support Black-owned businesses. Like I said, I've been shouting out Sweet Brown Sugar. So, like local bakery, Black-owned. It's in Grayson. Fabulous food. Because I got some of the chicken salad last time I was up in there. It was really, really good. Other than that, man, just appreciate everybody doing their thing. I will be on those Twitter streets, trying to stay away from the grossies, but commenting on the coolies. So if you want to chop it up on some topics, let me know and hit me up. You can jump into the DMs of the thread, and if you ever want to guest on the show and talk about something wild, come on in. We will enjoy it. We love it.
We can talk about our toes.
Yeah. And I think we're going to finally make a decision on the next book club book coming up soon. And then we'll let everybody know about that. It was
supposed to be your pick, but you delegated to Lisa to pick another one. So you're going to pick one?
Oh, my bad.
I mean, I sent some suggestions, and I was seeing if you guys were feeling or vibing with those suggestions.
Don't send suggestions. Be like, yo, this is what we reading.
Can you just not make it 700 pages?
Like Jason does, because that's what we're gonna do with
my only request.
Oh no, I will never make it 700 pages. Without,
I'm sorry, I thought you liked to read, Lisa.
Ooh, yeah, bang bang. Boom, well, then if it's fine, then I'm going to choose Black Nerd Problems because I read that book and it's awesome, and I don't mind reading it again. And there's a lot of dope stuff in there about Black folks talking about comic book characters. So I'm all here for that.
Dude, all right, go ahead.
No one's allowed to get mad at me for talking about it.
Oh no, it literally is a dude just talking about stuff that we are into, but it's slang instead of just proper English. So that's it. It's literally just a book of memoirs and all that, and articles he's written. So
Lisa's like, I just don't understand why they just don't go back to where it came from.
I never said that in my life. Ever. Absolutely not. No. Bleep that out.
Bleep that out. If they just forget about talking about it, then it'll go away, right?
Okay, Jason, I can't.
I'm not putting words in your mouth.
You're literally doing that.
Thanks, everybody, so very much for watching our show. We always appreciate you joining in with us or tuning in with us. Please like, share, subscribe if you can. because it's easy and it doesn't cost you anything. But also be kind, be considerate to one another, and tip your servers and bartenders at least 20%, if not more, if you can afford it. And if you see Jaron, it's almost St. Patty. That's like his Christmas, for his people. So, buy him something that an Irish person would like, which is alcohol or poverty.
Or good old Donnybrook.
But either way, y'all have a great night.